Avenue in downtown Milwaukee. This is Kyle Brust Nortman, KBN on ESPN Wisconsin. Here's Kyle Wallace, Ben Brust, and Brad Nortman.
It is a great day to be alive on this Monday. Kyle Brust Nortman across ESPN Wisconsin. And finally, I don't have to introduce new people every day. It's the full show. I got Kyle Wallace, Packer backer to my right. Say something, Kyle.
Oh, it's 2026. New year, ain't new me. I'm still the crazy, wild Packers fans that don't give a dang coming at you every single day. Ain't nothing changed, baby.
To my left, longtime NFL punter, Super Bowl 50 runner-up. It is Bradley Nortman. Say something, Brad.
It's good to have everyone together. I've missed us. It's kind of like old friends that haven't seen each other in a few weeks. Or like when you come back to school after Christmas break or something, you're like, oh, it's my friends. You meet them in the lunchroom. That's what I feel like
Kyle's
right
like,
now.
you're not my friend.
My friends!
No, you guys are in 2026. We're friends.
In
Oh, wow,
2026?
just like that.
Only in 2026?
No, 2026 and beyond.
What happened? What happened to make us go from non-friends to friends?
I'm looking to change my lifestyle to be more open.
Oh, wow. Is this a resolution?
No, I'm gonna be more open. Hey, guys, come on in. My name's Kyle.
All right. I don't like his energy. It's really
I'm
weird
walking
right
through that
now.
door.
And running the show back from his overseas trip that lasted about 2 weeks. He was hopping on trains, planes, and automobiles, took in the sights, lots of pictures. Is Alex Strofe, everybody, running the show?
I think I left Milwaukee County for a total of 72 hours.
To go to Manitowoc County.
And then Brown County, there was a Packers game. They played the Ravens at one point. But yeah.
Just county hopping Wisconsin in his 2 weeks
Eastern
off.
Wisconsin. Yeah, Eastern Wisconsin. But good to be back. Missed you guys. Pretty big week, I would argue.
Here we go again. It is, as we all thought it would be. Now, there was kind of a potential towards the end of those fourth quarters of the Commanders-Eagles game and the Bears-Lions game. The Lions did beat the Bears, but because the Commanders and Josh Johnson, the 39-year-old quarterback, was able to...
I was floored that man's still in the league.
Right?
How about that?
He and the Commanders beat the Eagles, so that leads us to Bears-Packers Saturday night, 7 p.m. on your local Fox 6 in Milwaukee. I did not see Madison, and I'm sure you'll have it locally in Green Bay, but 7 p.m. Saturday night. How are you feeling, Kyle Wallace?
Listen, a third time again where we play the Chicago Bears, and all the hate watchers can come on in, but it's going to be a battle. I'm actually happy the Green Bay Packers drew this team because there's only two teams that the Packers actually had a chance to beat. The Panthers and the Bears. Everybody else in the NFC, the Packers didn't have a chance, especially coming off a bye week that the Packers had, that they had a legitimate chance. So I'm excited for this rivalry to be renewed in the playoffs. Welcome, Chicago. Welcome to the fun.
It
Wait,
is interesting.
Hold on. Really?
What do you mean, really? Really what?
You don't think the Packers could have gone to Philadelphia and beaten them?
No. They're not. No.
I totally disagree with that.
Again,
because you've seen it.
What I need to remind you, the last 3 weeks I've been dealing with Kyle Wallace, really the 2 that you were out, Strofe, is I've become the Packer backer, and Kyle Wallace has turned on his team.
This is not the time for that, Kyle.
I'm the one who...
How did I turn on my team by just saying that we can't beat the Eagles, or we can't beat the Seahawks, or we can't beat the 49ers?
That's a lot of lack of faith.
What do you mean? How did I turn on my team and I just list everyone that they can't
I'm
beat?
simply saying we got what we wanted. There were 2 teams.
Ben,
Listen.
How many years has he used me picking against the Packers in the postseason against me? Remember when I picked them to lose to the Cowboys 2 years ago, and he used it
Not me.
every
I
opportunity?
didn't pick them to lose.
No, I know you did it.
We know that you're perfect, Kyle.
Every time, or actually, I think it was the Vikings New Year's Eve that year, 23.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
And you have used that against me
So I have
every
video.
opportunity you've had. He said they couldn't win
How
one
am I
game
not
in
a
week
Packer
17.
backer? Well, you
And
just
now,
said they
and
can't
now,
beat blank. They can't beat blank. They can't beat
Jordan loves-
blank.
Jordan
That
loves
was
the
hilarious.
healthiest quarterback in the NFC. Matt LaFleur is debatably the best play caller in the playoffs, not named Kyle Shanahan or Sean McVay. And they can't beat anybody.
2 names.
2 names of 7.
Dude, the Packers
both have to go on the road as
their
well.
points
The
per
other
game,
two
the
wild
Packers are
cards.
16. So
Go ahead. Keep on ragging on your Packers.
I'm
That's
not
what
ragging
you've
on
been
my
doing.
Packers. I'm just saying I am excited for this week because I actually have hope, because if I had to pick two teams in the NFC playoff field that I actually wanted to play, are the Bears and Panthers not 1 and 2?
I hear you on that, but so if they win, then it's all over to Kyle Wallace.
I have said this before, that this is not a Super Bowl team. But what gives me life is just the fact that I can have hope. And having hope means, oh, wow, this actually, the Packers can beat the Bears and the Panthers. So we got the Bears. This is great. And then next week, when we beat
What's
the Bears.
line from Shawshank Redemption? Like, hope can really kill a man or something? You know exactly. Like,
I do know the line.
You know exactly what it is. Kyle's giving me those vibes right now, but just for 1 week only for the Green Bay Packers.
I feel good, babe. I feel good about Saturday because we have an opportunity against a team that we have outperformed for the both games that we played them, almost for the full game. But, you got to play a full 60 minutes. So I feel good about
800-990-3776 is the Carbless Talking text line. I'm already confused by Kyle Wallace, and we're 6 minutes into a full show of us being together in 2026. Now, this is the biggest game of the LaFleur tenure. There's no doubt about it. It wasn't the Cowboys game. It wasn't the Eagles game last year. I could even make an argument it's the biggest game of LaFleur's tenure. I understand that he played in some NFC championship games, but if you've gone no playoffs, 7 seed, and then you lose in the first round, how many times do we bring up the Milwaukee Bucks in their first round level of not success with Giannis Antetokounmpo? This would be Matt LaFleur, 4 straight years of 1 playoff win as the head coach in Titletown of the Green Bay Packers. Now, again, you can debate whatever you want on that, but what I do know is I think that in a different way than Kyle, because I've been saying if they win this one, I'm not scared of Sam Darnold. I understand that the Seattle Seahawks just played really well against the 49ers, but offensively, were they absolutely awesome against a not great 49ers defense? No, the Seattle defense is elite, but when it becomes these one-and-done games in the NFL, that's what makes the playoffs so great. It doesn't feel good losing as many as you did, but if you prioritize health and you have a franchise quarterback that's getting paid $55 million, who's won a playoff game on the road before, the only to do so as a 7 seed, I'm going to find reason to believe. And I'm going to find reason to believe that this team under Matt LaFleur and Jordan Love can do something more than people are giving them credit to. But that's me, the Packer backer of the show, unlike Kyle Wallace. Brad, where are you at?
Hey, before you go, Brad, can we give him a cheerleader suit and give him some pom-poms?
Oh,
it's a pom.
I mean, I will say this is the biggest game of the Matt LaFleur, Jordan Love era, not of Matt LaFleur's total Packer era. Those games that with him, as the 1 seed, those NFC championship games, those are much bigger. But I will say for him and Jordan Love, this is the biggest game so far. It's not even really close in my opinion. When it comes to, I'll defend you a little bit, Kyle. It feels like the Bears and the Panthers are the only teams that the Packers don't feel outmatched against, right? You look at the Rams, you look at the San Francisco 49ers, the Seahawks, those teams, and Eagles. You look like teams and say, you know what? The Packers need to play their best game, and they need to kind of play down a little bit for the Packers to win. Certainly can happen. But I look at this Bears game, it's ironic because you were sort of like, hoping that the Packers get the Bears for this matchup. I feel like the Bears were hoping they'd get the Packers for this matchup as well. I feel like both fan bases, both teams were hoping for a rematch, were hoping for a rubber match, and thinking that, you know what? I think I have the advantage against this team. That's what makes this game so interesting. But make no mistake about it. Matt LaFleur needs to win this game. Jordan Love needs to win this game. I mean, it is a situation where it's the biggest game for them. They should be in their championship window. They've been here for long enough. You can't keep on getting 7 seeds and not making it long advancements into the playoffs. The Bears, a little bit ahead of schedule. The Packers, they're right on schedule if they can get some postseason victories. If not, you start to wonder, man, we're not making postseason runs, and we're losing to the division that we just gave to the Chicago Bears, our arch rivalry in 1 season. Not the look that you want if you're the Green Bay Packers.
Let's go to the phone lines. 800-990-3776. The Carbless Talking text line. Let's take an early call from Kevin in Illinois, who I know is already a bigger Packer fan believer than Kyle Wallace.
Here we go. How are we going to start the year like this?
Kevin, you're up.
Happy playoff week, boys. We all know what's going to happen this week. Jordan Love's going down there to the mistake by the lake, Soldier Field, going to show his deed to the stadium that he owns them. We're going to, send them packing, maybe Ben Johnson can go take his shirt off on a beach somewhere when we're done with them after we end this pathetic fairy tale fraudulent season that they have. Show them who the real kings of the North are, then, now, and forever. And hey, beat the Bears. Maybe we shock the world and take out the Seattle team that's leading the NFL in giveaways this year in turnovers. One of 2 teams in NFL history that has a negative turnover differential to be a number 1 seed. It's all in front of us, boys. We got this. Enjoy the ride. Enjoy the week. Have a great show today. Let's do this. Go Pack Go.
Attaboy,
Okay,
Kevin.
wow.
Way to believe beyond the Bears, unlike Kyle Wallace right
That's what we
there.
needed.
He just said, maybe we could shock the world. I mean, shock the world that's a lot of belief.
David chimes in. Kyle Wallace is a fair weather Packer fan. Another word,
Hell no.
he's also a pretender.
Hell
Chef
no.
Ed, he's back. What does Kyle and the coach of the Badgers football have in common? They are both fickle.
No, listen, I'm just being honest. That's what I am. They need to change his name to, well, he looks Luke Suck, not Fickle. And Kyle Wallace instead of Wallace. Because at the end of the day, I'm just being honest. We should focus on this week. And this week, I feel very good about the prospects for the Green Bay Packers. But when you ask the question, is this the most quintessential or most important game of the Jordan Love and Matt LaFleur era? No, it's not.
What's a bigger game? What's a more important
I feel
game?
like the game against Dallas that they had actually laid the foundation for what the expectations were.
That was
for this
house money.
organization.
The foundation.
The
foundation.
that they have
you know
not
what you
been
build
able-
with
that they-
foundation?
I
Something bigger and
understand
better.
that, but you have to
You're
look-
3 years later, and
problem-
now you're saying what?
But you
that
have
this
to-
isn't big and
What y'all
this
have
isn't
to
a big
understand-
deal?
See, the problem is that you guys are still living in the world of expectations of what we had just 5 weeks ago with this Green Bay Packers team. The Green Bay Packers have regressed as an overall football team due to the injuries that they have had. Where you're talking about a team that was top 10 offense that has regressed past that in total yards
so
per
this
game.
is going to be the week of excuses from Kyle Wallace.
No excuses
No
when it comes
excuses,
to the
but let
Bears.
me list
But
off
when I-
five
when
real
when
quick.
you're talking about having, this is the most important game. This is a 7 seed, and this is probably one of the worst 7 seed teams the Packers have actually had. I mean, last year they were beat up going to the game against Philly, but Philly went on to win the Super Bowl. This is probably one of the worst 7 seed teams that the Packers have actually had due to the fact that the defense has not been consistent whatsoever since Michael Parsons went down. The offense doesn't have any type of cohesiveness or any type of rhythm, and we have not seen this offense have rhythm with Jordan Love basically since maybe the game against the Broncos. And so at the end of the day, when we're looking at, is this important? Yes, it's important, but it's not the most important game that these two gentlemen will have, because at the end of the day, the Packers are who they are. They are a 7 seed going on the road against a number 2 seed. They are not a Super Bowl favorite, nor should anybody be picking this team to go to the Super Bowl, because they should not have Super Bowl aspirations due to the fact that they have not played complete football and they have not found a way to recover since the loss of Michael Parsons. So at the end of the day, I think the Dallas Cowboys game ended up being something that allowed for this organization to see we are still there and we are going to have a championship window, but I don't win or lose. I expect you
setting
to
the
win.
foundation with a win, losing in the first round as a 7 seed, and then potentially when we don't know what the result will be, you're still just downplaying this game, because now in Kyle's mind,
What
he's
are they
already
doing- what are they doing that's
okay,
new?
I know you're already on to 2026 in the fall.
Brad, what are they doing that's new? If they win on Saturday, which they will win, I believe they will. If they win, what did they do that's new? What did they accomplish?
They are putting themselves in a position to do something that they haven't
the same
done.
thing they did. No, okay,
Which
sure,
would be
but
to win a divisional
but
game.
the same thing they did.
It's
2
again,
years
you
ago.
have lower
But-
expectations
no,
for this
but
team
see,
because of injuries.
then-
You're making excuses all show
then
long
we can
already.
move forward saying, okay, now this is going to be the biggest game against Seattle because they have a chance as a combo of being Matt LaFleur and being Jordan Love to actually go somewhere that they have not gone. But this is a 2 versus 7 seed. This is a 3-peat of them being in the exact same game that they've been in the last
timing
couple
matters,
years.
Kyle, right? Because this is a Bears team that is sort of having a resurgent. You're playing your rivalry. If you lose this game, what does it say about where the Matt LaFleur and Jordan Love era is at?
It simply tells people that the Packers did not have enough health at the end of the day, and they were not having enough chemistry at the end of the day to beat the Bears. The Bears did win the division, though I do believe they're very flawed, and I'm sure we'll talk about it throughout the week, that they are a flawed team when you can look at their divisional record that they have this year. Garbage. But at the end of the day, the Packers have reasons why they don't have as much juice behind them. If the Packers don't have Micah Parsons go down, which is part of injuries and part of football, that's what happens. We are having a different conversation today because we may be talking about the Packers having a bye.
Angry.
I'm not angry at all. I'm excited for the prospects of what the game could bring on Saturday. I'm super excited, but I'm
so glad you smiled.
I'm not angry. I'm actually
You sound
really
so
excited.
angry. I am not angry.
No. I'm actually really excited because I feel good about
I just want to let you know the fans are feeling it too. Don chimes in on the Carbless Talking text line. Guys, don't let Kyle have the last word. I'm done with his bad vibes. David in the 920. Kyle is the only Packer fan, only a Packer fan after the fact. When they win, he acts like he's the biggest fan ever. When they lose, he jumps ship, and it makes me sick. All caps sick.
I'm all in. I literally started this by saying I am excited.
Ryan and Madison, all I hear is excuses and hedging. That's what I hear.
Ain't no way hedging what? Hedging what?
Maybe I'll try to agree with you for a moment, because I do think, and you guys have kind of alluded to this, I do think the Packers going to Chicago and playing the Bears is the best case scenario, right? It's the shortest travel. It's the team they know the best. Jordan Love has 2.5 weeks rest. They've played them 120 minutes of the regular season. They've owned, maybe not owned them, but they've been in control of 118 of those minutes, right? So, like, this is the best case wild card scenario. But to hear you open the show in the new year and the first thing you say is, I don't think they could have gone anywhere else and won, shocked me. That floors me from you, because you know me, Kyle. Like, I view myself as usually glass half full guy, but pretty realistic most days, right? Like, sometimes
you think.
Sometimes, Penny, come on, rude. But you guys would agree, like, sometimes I do take the dip, and I take the dip hard, right? I'm kind of a roller coaster fan. When Tucker Kraft went down, I've been saying it since then, they're going to have a really hard time to win the Super Bowl. Same thing with Micah. But to win a playoff game, or even two, I still have confidence they could make an NFC championship game. The road's hard, and they need Jordan Love to play out of his mind. Like, he needs to be guns a-blazing right from the get-go. But Chicago's the best-case scenario.
Yes.
I think they could have gone to Philly and won. I don't think they're very good this year.
Harder to do, though.
For sure. They're the reigning champions. I'm not going to take that away from them.
A better objective team.
And a better defense. Better defense. I don't know that they're a better offense than Chicago.
On the YouTube chat, sounds like Kyle's had 4 cups of coffee. Kyle needs a candy bar, one that says, if you're hungry, grab a blank.
I don't drink coffee.
Jamie/Jaime in Orlando on the Cardinals Talking text line. Flip-flop Kyle is wrong. Michael in the 414. Kyle sounds like he had a horrible time at the bachelor party. LOL.
It was fun. I did get a sash.
You got a sash?
And a face mask. Never let a woman plan a bachelor.
Did you wear that sash?
I did. I almost said hell no, but I did.
Oof, man, Kyle. I really think, you know how you say something.
No,
hear me
you
out.
painted this narrative.
No, you started the show by saying, I'm so glad the Packers are playing the Bears because they only had a shot against the Bears and the Panthers.
Yeah.
Otherwise, they were losing.
Show me the lie.
No, that's literally saying in a one game in a playoffs that they couldn't beat anybody in the year that the NFC is the most wide open it has ever been.
Excuse me. Did we not watch the Baltimore game 2 weeks ago?
All right. Again, it's a week-to-week league. They got their rest, and they have a quarterback that has not lost that much on offense. That was a top 3 MVP candidate, and now you're just punting on the season, other than beating the Bears. And like somebody said, Kyle sounds like a Bears fan. Just happy to beat the Packers is what the Bears fans used to say. That's what you sound like right now, and it's hard for me to argue against that. We will dissect your chaotic brain and what feels like you've had too much coffee next. 800-990-3776 is the Carbless Talking text line. We'll also hear from Ben Johnson. I don't think it's a shot at Matt LaFleur, but he sounds douchey anyways. We'll hit him next.
This is Kyle Brust Nortman, KBN.
Well, the dance floor specifically. I'm still sore, man. I dance my booty off.
But you don't have muscles. You don't have a booty, so I don't know how you dance that. You ask your back off. Your back.
On ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app. The Homer Hour with special guests every day from 5 to 6.
Because if the Packers win, they get way more recognition than they should get for an amazing win.
The best 60 minutes of your day happens on the Homer Hour.
It would be the best win of the year, and it ain't even close if they win this game, given all the injuries. You want to join that club?
Weekday afternoons from 5 to 6 on 94.5 ESPN, the ESPN Wisconsin app, and ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube. Let's get the latest from Lambeau. This is your green and gold fix on 94.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Z-Bart of Greater Milwaukee. Why Z-Bart? Because you don't want rust holes in your expensive vehicle. Let Z-Bart keep the rust away with professional rust protection. Only at Z-Bart.
The Packers closed the regular season with a 16-3 loss to the Vikings while resting most of their starters. Quarterback Clayton Tune was sacked 4 times, and punter Daniel Whelan logged 8 punts for 431 yards, the 5th most in team history. Here's head head coach Matt LaFleur after the game.
I think our guys are excited. They're excited for the challenge. They're excited for the opportunity, and that's how we're going to attack it, and that's our mindset, because right now, when you get to the postseason, everybody's 0-0. It's a clean slate, so we have an opportunity, and that's all you can ask for.
Packers finished the season at 9-7-1 and will now head to Chicago to take on the Bears in the first round of the playoffs.
This has been your Green and Gold Fix on 94.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Z-Bart of Greater Milwaukee.
Do you want your car to shine like a diamond? Then you need Z-Gloss from Z-Bart. Z-Gloss gives you a mirror finish and protects your paint from everything Mother Nature can throw at it with a 10-year guarantee. Visit zbart.com for more information.
Kick off the new year with a smarter home and bigger savings with Exterior Pros and Baths. New windows to lock in the warmth, durable roofing, eye-catching siding, or a stunning bath makeover. Start the year off right and get $3,000 off your project. That's right, $3,000 back in your pocket during our New Year savings event. Call 262-800-4274 or visit extpros.com today. This deal won't last all winter. Exterior Pros and Baths. New year, new home, done right.
Did you forget the first day of school is this week and little Nancy still needs her name embroidered on her backpack? Or the company shirts are due now, not next week? Maybe the boss just declared Steve's retirement party is today and the shirts are mandatory? Whatever the rush, Big Frog Custom T-shirts and more in Mequon has got you covered. With fast turnarounds, no minimums, eco-friendly printing, and high-quality custom apparel, Big Frog brings your custom ideas to life fast. Stop by Big Frog in Mequon or visit bigfrog.com/Mequon. Big Frog Custom T-shirts and more, where your ideas leap to life.
Rick, tell Sarah about the practical joke you came up with.
Okay, Sarah, this is really great. Are you ready?
Rick, I'm always ready. I walk around in a constant state of readiness.
A man buys a woman a pair of diamond stud earrings from Kessler's.
So far, this doesn't sound like much of a practical joke. Be patient, he's not done yet.
And then on her birthday, or Valentine's Day, or Mother's Day, or Tuesday, he sneaks them out of her jewelry box and replaces them with a larger pair.
Well, as practical jokes go, this one sounds delightful, but it also sounds expensive. No, he bought them at Kessler's, remember?
When you buy diamond stud earrings from Kessler's,
and we have them for $180 to $24,000 a pair.
You always get 100% of the price you paid when you trade up for a larger pair.
He just pays the difference?
He just pays the difference.
I love practical jokes. When do I get my first pair? For the Kessler's nearest you, go to KesslersDiamonds.com.
Your state, your teams, your ESPN. The ESPN Wisconsin app. Customizable just for you. Find the ESPN Wisconsin app in the Apple or Android app stores today. You're listening to Kyle, Brust, and Nortman, KBN, on ESPN Wisconsin, ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube, and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Yes, I do know that Kyle started the show by saying he thinks the Packers will beat the Bears, but he did preface that with, I'm so glad the Packers are playing the Bears, because the only two teams they'd beat are the Bears or the Panthers. So the Packer backer only has faith in the wild card game. That was Kyle's thoughts. I'm Ben Brust alongside Brad Nortman. Alex Strofe is running the show. UKBN Nation at 800-990-3776. That is the Carbless Talking text line. Get us on YouTube at ESPN Milwaukee and at ESPN Madison. I do want to turn our attention to Ben Johnson, because obviously we saw the 16-3 loss against the Vikings, which I'll be completely honest with everyone. I made it to halftime, and I said I can't do another half. It's all I had in me.
Dude, I was so tired from nonstop running since Tuesday
You don't
morning.
even need to say that. You could have just said I couldn't do it.
I need to take a nap. I had 2 hours of rest before I flew out. I said I'm going to sleep.
It hurt. It hurt to watch.
I know Strofe had Green Bay game night. I'm sure there was a ton to talk about on Green Bay game night. Highlighting Barron Sorrell, maybe. Anything else?
Yeah, that was about it. It was pretty much all look ahead. That game sucked.
Sucked.
Horrible.
I called it worse than a preseason game. I stand by it.
No, 100%.
It is worse than preseason game.
You have a smaller roster.
Preseason, you can get excited about something.
But I even said, right, like in a normal preseason game, usually you have a series of the starters, right? So it's like, oh, Jordan Love looked great. It was because I remember the first preseason game 2 years ago. They had 2 plays. It was a handoff to Josh Jacobs
and then
a long pass.
Dontavian Wicks maybe long pass.
I think so, and that was it, right? And it was like, yeah, they look great, man. None of that yesterday. No feel-good stories other than maybe Barron Surratt.
Oh, don't forget Danny Whalen.
Oh, Danny
Bomb
Whalen
City
awesome.
Central.
They got a great punter.
Great punter.
Sure do.
He is good. Deck step.
8 punts in a game. That's how many you had in Super Bowl 50, right?
Yeah, it's reflective of that Super Bowl. Brutal.
Trayvon Diggs, you can be happy about
Not a lot of good offense.
No.
Fine.
Let's hear from the Bears head coach because their approach was to win, baby, win. Play the players and win.
We're quickly turning the page here. Everyone's disappointed. I appreciate, like I said, their effort. Some teams, they rest their starters. We don't. We play football, and, and we felt like it was really important that we were playing our best ball here today, and we didn't get that job done. And so we're quickly turning that page, and now we got a home game coming on up, and there's a way to win this next game, and that's what we're going to be solely focused on.
That is Ben Johnson. He's such a badass. Did you hear that? He's such a badass. Dude, they play football, man. He's the only guy in the NFL that has that tough mindset that no matter what, we're playing football. Yeah. We don't rest our players. I don't know if it's a shot at LaFleur, but like either way, if it is, you tell me, or is he just a fake tough guy or both? Because he just screams douche.
Yeah,
that was so like. What are you? Why are you trying to act like you're better than everybody? You're not.
It's fake tough, and he tries to do this, right? He tries to like separate himself from I think it was also a shot at Philadelphia, who did rest their starters and sort of they would have exchanged seeds if Philly would have done that. But also a shot at Matt LaFleur. But the biggest thing is it's fake tough, right? He's not Dan Campbell. He wants to be Dan Campbell, but he's not. He's a smart brain and he's a good coach, but he's not tough. And this is him trying to be fake tough. I think he thought he could go in there, play his starters, and beat Dan Campbell. I think he really wanted to beat Dan Campbell. I think he was disappointed that they came out flat and ugly and they lost the game. And he's trying to spin zone this into being, you know what? This is what we do. We play football. We're not scared. Well, guess what? You put your starters out there. You played bad against a football team that had nothing to lose, nothing to gain, and they beat you at home. And now he's just trying to spin this into making it look like he's trying to be a culture setter. I think none of it went as he expected it to. He was scrambling and trying to be fake tough.
Dylan chimes in the Carbless Talking text line. Someone play the cool soundbite for Ben Johnson's presser.
Cool.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm right there with you, Brad.
Cool.
I mean, he's just a guy not trying to boost his team's confidence. They went in there yesterday with the expectation of they were playing for something. They were playing for the 2 seed, and they lost. And so when you lose a game like that, when your team literally goes in there and say, hey, we're going to win this football game against a team that has nothing to play for, and you lose and you fall to 2-4 in the division this year, that's not very good for them. And so he had to find a way to find the silver lining in this game. And what do you tell your team the silver lining is? Hey, fellas, listen, you can't win every one, but I'm proud of the way that you guys play, and we're going to go out there, we're going to compete every week. But at the end of the day, they know, damn, we were 2-4 in the division. We got swept by the Lions. We barely were able to beat the Green Bay Packers. Are we as good as we believe we are? He has to make sure that this team has as much confidence as possible moving into the playoffs because they have to walk out of there feeling fraudulent. When you are feeling like we're the number 2 seed, we're playing for something today, and you lose to a team that's not making the playoffs, you know, at the end of the day, like we knew with the Packers when we lost a couple years ago with Aaron Rodgers' last game, we knew that team wasn't good. They know that at the end of the day, they're competitive, but they ain't going nowhere.
The reason why this is somewhat fascinating to me is when you think about the Packers' approach to Week 18. The debate leading up to it was, do you even play Love for a series or whatever because he hasn't played? And if you do play some of your starters and you don't play well, then you also lose. Then what are you actually gaining? This right here is a trying to justify the decision ending up with a loss heading into the playoffs. The Packers don't need to do that. Whether you think it's the right decision or not to have rested, which I think 75 to 80% of people believe it was the right decision. The only thing that kind of sucks is like, despite them playing the JV squad, they ran the ball on like a 3rd and 5 in the first half or a 3rd and 4 on the other side of the field. And if you get that, then you go for it. Because like you have nothing to lose at that point. It almost felt like everyone, and thank God they ran the ball as much as they did because it was a very short game. I think you probably got to your post-game show pretty early yesterday because it was a short game. But now there's none of that. It's you've rested, you know your opponent, and they're coming off of their loss there that feels weird. And now it's like, all right, throw everything out. throw the rest strategy. They can throw their we played strategy. It's now we have two teams who have seen each other. One team's won by 7. The other team's won by 7. It's as tight gets in terms of this matchup.
And both teams are coming off multiple losses. Like the Green Bay Packers have struggled. They've obviously lost the last 4 games. And the Bears in 2 games that they actually were trying to win. And, again, that was a great game against the 49ers, and they made it a game late yesterday against the Lions. But they've still lost 2 games that they tried, and they know in the back of their mind the 3rd game that they won, it took a miracle in the end for them to win. They also need a confidence booster, and so they're got to be a little distressed and a little disappointed. Not saying it's going to mean anything on Saturday, but there is going to be a little bit of disappointment going in because of the fact that they weren't able to get the 1 seed, and they also weren't able to get they got the 2 seed, but they backed into it.
It was probably the right decision for Ben Johnson to play all the starters, and for sure. But it's almost like the Bears are still trying to figure things out, right? It's almost like they need more reps. They need more identity implementation. I feel like with
the Packers too after losing 3 straight.
I don't think so. I mean, I think that you can
know exactly who the Packers are coming out against the Bears on Saturday.
You know who they are. You know their strengths. You know their weaknesses. At least on offense, I do. And on defense, you can't risk any more guys getting injured because they're already so depleted from an injury standpoint. This offense is Jordan Love and Josh Jacobs heavy, right? That's just what it is. If you can get the running game going and you can get Jordan Love in rhythm, there's nobody this team can't score against. It's just a matter of making sure those guys are out there healthy, because when they struggle, when they're out of sync, it's when those guys aren't at their best.
Diana McGuanago, you want to get at Kyle, huh?
Hey, Dirty D.
Hey, now, Ben, I have a couple things to say, and don't you dare hang up on me.
Don't you dare.
No.
Hey, that's setting the tone for 2026, girl.
You guys need to take that phone away from him.
I don't have the phone.
I'm grabbing it now, Dirty D. Away.
Kyle's got the phone.
This is about as good as I can get as picking on Kyle. Kyle, you really need to stop irritating Ben, because I have to listen to him when you irritate him.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
He needs to stop saying stupid stuff, Dirty D.
He's just so easy to
He started the show by saying the only 2 teams that the Packers could beat are the Panthers and the Bears, which is just terrible.
No, there's a lot of facts to it, Dirty
Okay,
D.
I'm going to keep my comments to myself about that one, because you guys would probably all hang up on me, so we'll just leave.
No, let's hear it.
This is open line, Dirty D.
Dirty D. Take what's on your mind, girl. It's 2026.
Well, you guys got that game won down in Chicago already by the Packers? I don't think so.
Oh. Tell us why.
Why?
Yeah.
Because they're I don't know, the atmosphere down there.
Dirty D. Hey, the atmosphere down there? Stop. We're going to lose to the Bears in the playoffs because the atmosphere down there.
Why y'all? Now, listen.
Strofe laugh tractor.
I don't know.
You
Laugh
can't
track Dirty
you can't
D.
laugh track Dirty D like that.
Yeah, you can.
Wow.
We hold everyone to a standard, and that standard was not met.
Start 2026 together. Laugh track and Dirty D.
That's wild. And she was worried about Ben hanging up on her.
It was actually Strofe.
Yeah,
Don't worry,
it is.
Strofe. She's calling back for your headline, too.
Get him, Dirty D.
I know Kyle believes the Packers will beat the Bears, even though he doesn't believe in the Packers at all. He's just saying that because he has to.
One
But
week
we'll
at a
hear
time.
from Brad Nortman on the Packers-Bears coming up next.
You're listening to Kyle Brust and Nortman, KBN,
I'm a tool. My name is Ben Brust, and I'm a tool.
on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Can you feel it? It's the thrill of witnessing a walk-off grand slam, a game-winning touchdown, a buzzer-beating 3. Yeah, you know the feeling. And there's only one place to experience that raw exhilaration. Potawatomi Sportsbook. Catch all the action in a supreme space with dozens of sports betting kiosks, cool drinks, luxe seating, great food, fiery atmosphere, and a monster video wall. Become a legend at Potawatomi Sportsbook. More info online. Must be 21 to enter casino.
With your Saganiac Planning Marquette recap, I'm Will Summers. Marquette fell 73-57 at 4th-ranked UConn on Sunday, dropping to 5-10 overall and 0-4 in Big East play. The Golden Eagles stayed within striking distance in the first half, trailing 37-28 at the break, but UConn would pull away early in the second half and not look back. Freshman Nigel James Jr. was the leading scorer for the Golden Eagles, tallying 15 points.
Layup is good. Nigel James again, literally taking on all 5 players.
Marquette will now return home for another Big East challenge against Xavier on Wednesday.
Your business is unique, and your health plan should be too. At United Healthcare, our group health plans are built for you and your employees. Whether you're running a small startup or managing a large enterprise, we offer solutions designed to fit your needs, your goals, and your budget. Explore your options today at uhc.com/Wisconsin. Insurance coverage provided by or through United Healthcare Insurance Company or its affiliates. Administrative services provided by United Healthcare Services, Inc. or their affiliates. Health plan coverage provided by or through United Healthcare of Wisconsin, Inc.
What's better than cheering for the Packers with an ice-cold beer in your hand? Cheering for the Packers with an ice-cold beer in your hand that you got for 10% off. And when you get Packers checking from Associated Bank, you get even more. Like 10% off food and 10% off drinks on game day. Like that ice-cold beer in your hand. Plus 15% off Pro Shop gear. Only with Packers checking. Associated Bank. Bank of the Packers. Learn more at associatedbank.com/Packers. Member FDIC.
$2.3 million. A recent Schwab survey of Americans says that it takes $2.3 million to be wealthy. Well, you may have had your financial plan set on a bigger or a more humble number. But if you're looking for added insights on how to get there or how to avoid some tax pitfalls on the way, Annex Wealth Management is ready to listen. Mark Toscher here, and whether your situation is complex or simple, the Annex Wealth Management team can give you wealth expertise and guidance on reaching your goals. Annex Wealth Management. Know the difference.
Let's get the latest from Lambeau. This is your green and gold fix on 94.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Tri-City National Bank. Tri-City National Bank offers a full suite of personal and business banking products at more than 25 convenient locations. Open your account today at the community bank that's Milwaukee's best bank. Learn more at tcnb.com.
The Packers closed the regular season with a 16-3 loss to the Vikings while resting most of their starters. Quarterback Clayton Tune was sacked 4 times, and punter Daniel Whelan logged 8 punts for 431 yards, the 5th most in team history. Here's head coach Matt LaFleur after the game.
I think our guys are excited. They're excited for the challenge. They're excited for the opportunity, and that's how we're going to attack it, and that's our mindset, because right now, when you get to the postseason, everybody's 0-0. It's a clean slate, so we have an opportunity, and that's all you can ask for.
The Packers finished the season at 9-7-1 and will now head to Chicago to take on the Bears in the first round of the playoffs.
This has been your green and gold fix on 94.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Tri-City National Bank, your hometown bank.
Concerned about fraud? Tri-City's got your back. Use debit card alerts. Help stop a card hack. You'll get notified when your card's being used so you can prevent your account from abuse. Tri-City National Bank. Member FDIC.
When you're high, you feel different. Pretty obvious, right? You think different, talk different, but if you feel different, you drive different. So if you're high, just don't drive. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
You're listening to Kyle, Brust, and Nortman on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Whole crew together, Ben Brust, Kyle Wallace, Brad Nortman, Alex Strofe running the show. UKB Nation, as always, 800-990-3776. That is the Carbless Talk and Text line. List is more. We are on YouTube at ESPN Milwaukee and at ESPN Madison. If you don't have the ESPN Wisconsin app, download it. It is so easy to use as the Packers take on the Bears Saturday night at 7 p.m. And thankfully, that is the matchup, because we learned Kyle only believes the Packers would have won this weekend unless it was only the Bears and the Panthers. He does not believe in this team outside of that. Brad Nortman, you did a lot of listening to Kyle Wallace explain as to why he believes but doesn't believe but believes. I want to hear you on the Packers and Bears.
Yeah, I mean, I look at this game this weekend. I don't see how the Packers lose. I really don't. I mean, I'm that confident going into it. I made
a Packer backer.
I made a big deal on Friday that my Packers futures bets all lost and all just barely, painfully fell to the under, to where I lost all my money to the wagers that I thought would be able to give me some money going into 2026. But I'm toying with the idea of taking those losses and putting it all on this game to try to recoup that. That's how confident
the old double down.
The old double down, the old chase. It is something that beginner gamblers like me would certainly do, but that's the confidence level I have in this Packer team. You know, when the Packers were the 7th seed in the past, playing the Cowboys than playing the Eagles.
There's
I looked
nothing
at those
better
two
than a good
teams.
chase, Brad. I'm just telling you.
What's that?
Nothing more fun than a good chase.
Oh, that would make this game even more fun. I'm not even sure that would be possible. But when they played the Cowboys or played the Eagles, I looked at those teams and said, man, like these are well put together, experienced teams, offense, defense, special teams. I don't see how the Packers can be able to go ahead and win this game. I feel the opposite when I come to the Chicago Bears teams. They're not experienced. They're not a team that's particularly intimidating. And when you dive deep into the statistics, you're looking at this.
Whoa,
and saying
whoa,
to yourself,
whoa. Is this a
not,
nerd?
Not deep statistics. Not deep statistics.
Oh, man, Stro, if I had to be an early nerd man.
Not nerd man level.
Nerd man.
This is just generic nerd man stuff. When you look at their defense, I mean, it is something that it is so turnover reliant. We already know that. But you look at how they win games. I mean, they're the bottom third in yards per games, points per games. All they have is turnovers. And turnovers, you rely on chaos. They also have comeback wins. You're relying on chaos. You're relying on strange circumstances. You take that over a greater sample size, you can't rely on that in order to get victories. I think we forget with the Green Bay Packers, less about the Bears, more about the Packers. We forget halftime through that Denver game that Jordan Love was looking like an MVP candidate, and take away a couple chaos in that type of environment and getting injured. We forget how good of football he was playing. He is the better quarterback. They are the better offense. I just look at this team and think that, be it him playing at an MVP level, which we haven't been able to see because of injury, or this defense, yes, losing Micah Parsons, but all you got to do is stop the run and contain, Caleb Williams from making magic happen in the end of the game, and this team will be able to win and win convincingly, I think. I just look at this team and think... Win convincingly.
Wow, I like that.
At Potawatomi Sportsbook right now, you do have the Packers as slight dogs. I've seen them anywhere from -1.5 to +1.5 there. +1 at Potawatomi Sportsbook. -107 on the money line if you just want to take the money line and take the spread out of it.
I think that, and Matt LaFleur and Jeff Hafley will have learned their lessons from the earlier games, right? I mean, it's clear that Chicago is going to try to slow the game down, take the ball out of Jordan Love's hands, and wear down the Chicago defense. I think if this Green Bay offense can, take advantage of more time of possession, stop the run, load the box, it's not like it's a labyrinth you have to figure out. The Bears' way to victory is simple. You have to create turnovers. You have to stop the run. You do the inverse of that, and certainly the Packers are a better team than the Bears. This is the least concerned about a number 2 seed that I've been in all recent memory.
Yeah, I think you're very justified in this belief that the Green Bay Packers, you don't see a way that they lose. When I look at this game and I look back at what we've seen, the Bears have a really good rushing attack. And the one thing is, 6 of the 8 quarters that these two teams have played, they've not been able to establish that rushing attack to really control the clock for it to be to their advantage. Remember, in the first half against the Packers the first time, they couldn't score, and then the first half against the Packers the second time, they could not score. Hell, it took them to the end of the fourth quarter to really be able to score some type of point. So that rushing attack has not been to their advantage against the Packers, which shows to me that Jeff Hafley has found a formula to be able to keep the rushing attack from actually being able to be something that could really hurt you against this Packers football team. Now, then you add in the thing that means the most is that this is Jordan Love, a quarterback that now will have 4 starts in the postseason. That should mean a lot going into this game. You're talking about that a level of experience that the coach has, the players have as well. That should all play well. The Green Bay Packers should win this game based off the fact that this is an evenly matched team, and when you have 2 evenly matched teams, quarterback and experience should play a huge role, and I think, Brad, that's why you're leaning in the right direction with the Packers beating the Bears.
Ultimately, when you look at the 2 regular season games, there's stuff you can take and there's stuff you can't take. What you can take is, obviously, in the first game, the game flow wasn't great in the second half based off of a lot of variables. They scored quick, and then the Bears were able to have those sustained drives, keeping the defense on the field. They were tired, but they still found a way to win. In the second game, let's not forget, Jordan Love barely played in that football game, yet Malik Willis played admirably, made a mistake late, but a lot of the Packers made a mistake. Despite that, they still played well for the majority of the game. And as we all know, football games are 60 minutes. That was longer than 60 minutes, and they did not do what they needed to win. But there's a competition within the competition, right? You have that. Now you take the competition to the next level. Love what you said from a playoff experience. Jordan Love has it. He's the only quarterback ever to win a playoff game as a 7 seed. And I just find it so hard from a lack of belief. Do I know that the defense is absolutely flawed? 100%. But Jordan Love, if you believe that he is your franchise quarterback, you should be expecting him to win this game. A, because he's been in the playoffs before. B, because he was playing at a very high level before getting injured. Now, is there a part of you that would love to see him have not been hurt and to continue to play and not have this quote-unquote rust that we don't know about? Sure, but I guess if I was going to pick a team that you're going to play against, to Kyle's point earlier, of what defense I'd want to play, not of who I don't think they can beat and not beat, but what defense I would want to play, I'd want to play the Bears because they give up a lot of yards. They could let you get in rhythm. That's the type of team that I'd want Jordan Love to play, so I think it matches up well for the Green Bay Packers. Again, is it going to be likely a tight game? Yes, but I'm still going to give the edge to the Packers for the sake of Jordan Love, for the sake of resting and getting healthy at positions that matter. Josh Jacobs needed as much time as he could get with that bone bruise. Zach Tom, hopefully coming back in a better spot, as we know that offensive line is very important to the success of this team. How Jordan Love played against the blitz when they brought a bunch of pressure with him in the first game. Again, it sets up for the Packers to win. They have to go out and execute despite how they've looked the last 3 weeks, because I'm not going to count that last week in Week 18. What are your thoughts? 800-990-3776. That is the Carbless Talking text line. I see the Bears fans are popping in the chat. Jordan Love's the better QB. Ha, ha, ha. Shut up. More next.
Caleb Williams sucks.
Caleb Williams sucks. Ha.
Caleb Williams sucks. Ha.
This is Kyle Brust Nortman.
You know Italian. What do you mean?
You know Italian?
You do know Italian.
Yeah, he's right.
Oui. That's French, but you had gelato.
On ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app. All day, every day. The Carbless Talk and Text line is open for you.
First off, there is not one team that's on the fringe that scares me.
800-990-3776. The Carbless Talk and Text line. This is more.
Right now, more than 100,000 children waiting in foster care need our help. The Dave Thomas Foundation for Adoption is focused on finding them safe, permanent homes. Learn more at davethomasfoundation.org.
Want your brand to turn heads and win hearts?
Captivate Exhibits can bring your brand to life by transforming lobbies, creating history walls, and beautifying facilities.
For over 32 years, Captivate has been the MVP of trade show exhibits and workplace design and fabrication. Let Captivate craft immersive branded environments that tell your story boldly, beautifully, and with purpose at events and around the office.
Score big by making your next event or your own space unforgettable. Create something legendary by getting started today at CaptivateExhibits.com.
Let's go! You're still grooving, still connecting, still loving, still turning up, still thriving. You still got it, but your immune system, it weakens as you age. That's where vaccines come in. They help train and strengthen your immune response to fight off respiratory illnesses like flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, or COVID-19. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Book in minutes at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Staples presents That Was Easy.
This year, it was important for my business to start strong.
Starting weak is not recommended.
But first, I needed a lot of stuff for the office.
Sounds like a shopping spree.
I just went to Staples. They have great prices on everything, like ink, toner, printers, paper, and chairs. And now, you can get up to 30% off select HP printers.
Up to 30% off HP printers. Am I on a hidden camera show?
No.
Well then, let's go Staples.
That was easy.
Shop Staples in-store, online, or on the app. Ends 131. Select models only.
This season, the Bucks are going for it all.
A game winner for the Greek Freak.
Go inside the team's pursuit of a championship on Locked In, the new season of the Behind the Bucks podcast, narrated by Bucks legend Marcus Johnson. Hear from the team stars on why they think they can make history. It's all on Behind the Bucks on the Bucks Plus audio network. Behind the Bucks is presented by Gallagher, your trusted insurance broker and HR and benefits consultant. Available now on bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, the new ESPN Wisconsin app, and wherever you get podcasts.
This is Eric Brown, owner of Siding Unlimited, letting you
know that Siding Unlimited installs Pella windows and doors? That's right, Siding Unlimited installs windows, and we do it really well, earning the prestigious Pella Platinum Premier National Certified Contractor of the Year award 5 times. New windows, our expert team will deliver on a smooth, hassle-free installation, making you feel proud of calling Siding Unlimited for your window project. What's the next step? Call 262-567-4513 or go to sidingunlimited.com.
Fisco is always there for your auto body care. When accidents happen, Fisco Auto Body on Forest Home in Franklin is there when you need them. Got a broken mirror? They'll take care of it. Dented bumper? Scratch paint? Fisco Auto Body will take care of it. If there's any damage you need fixed, Fisco has you covered. Their expert workmanship is guaranteed for the life of your vehicle. So stop in for all of your auto bumps and dings. Once again, you know the line. That's Fisco.
Prizes, flyaways, even cash money. You want it? We've got it. Find a list of all contests and official rules by visiting ESPNWisconsinContests.com.
That's ESPNWisconsinContests.com. Your state, your teams, your ESPN. The ESPN Wisconsin app. Customizable just for you. Find the ESPN Wisconsin app in the Apple or Android app stores today. This is Kyle Brust Nortman on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
I will say some believe even less than Kyle. Kyle believes the Packers are going to win against the Bears, but there is still a small contingent that are in a weird way hoping for the exit of Matt LaFleur, which would mean that it is bad and very bad to the point where Ed Policy has to do something which I don't think he wants to do, as Jeff chimes in. Packers are cooked. Let's get this over with so we can fire McCarthy 2.0, then promote Halfley instead and watch him leave. Then hire an offensive coordinator. That's Jeff and, I believe, McGuanago. Sure, you can have that opinion. I don't know if the grass is always greener, but I will say this is a big one. Because you don't want your playoff record to be 3-6. You don't want to lose to the Bears after they were a four-win team last year. Lost 10 in a row, bring in a new head coach, revitalize the franchise. Caleb Williams looks serviceable and has some growth that he can
absolutely
have under that franchise. But you don't want, after not winning the North with Love, then go 1-2 against the Bears this year, losing the one in the playoffs.
Yeah, well, it's too far for me to root for Matt LaFleur to be fired. I think he's still a good coach. I think they can go pretty far with Matt LaFleur. Can they win the big one? I'm still not sure about that. But there are two narratives that are becoming a problem. The one narrative is can't win in the playoffs, and that is something that Matt LaFleur needs to start to guard against. And this is probably the best playoff matchup he's had in an early round during his time as a football head coach for the Green Bay Packers. So I think that one narrative is can't win in the playoffs. That is reason to maybe move on from somebody. The other narrative is your Super Bowl championship window. Well, part of that is being able to win the division and take advantage of a quarterback in his prime and growing towards someone. You feel like that's almost slipping through your fingers because the Chicago Bears, as the Lions were downfalling, they have went and they've claimed the division right out of the Packers' grasp. And you're just wondering to yourself, man, is this championship window even legit? Can they even peak at the right time? Is Jordan Love going to be able to be that quarterback and Matt LaFleur going to be able to lead them to where they need to be? So postseason success, being able to take advantage of a window when the division's sort of up for grabs, you already lost out on that. A lot of those narratives can be stopped in its tracks with a win on Saturday night. However, a loss continues to perpetuate it to where they're not going to go away anytime soon.
Ben Brust, Kyle Wallace, Brad Nortman, Strofer on the show, 800-990-3776. Carbos Talking text line. A lot of the line on Saturday night. Packers-Bears, 7 p.m.
There is things that were storylines that are on the line, but here, one thing Packers fans need to get out their mind. Matt LaFleur ain't going nowhere. Ed Policy let y'all know that Matt LaFleur ain't going nowhere. Goody ain't going nowhere.
You want to give some context to Policy? Because he did a policy...
What is it?
Strofe, what is it called again? Policies, points. I knew you were going to do this. Policies perspective.
Oh,
yeah.
Good job,
on Packers.com.
And alluding to the fact that, listen, he's very satisfied with the way they've been able to battle through with all the injuries that the Green Bay Packers
highlighted
had.
adversity.
And so my whole thing is that we don't need to be cheering against the Green Bay Packers thinking a loss on Saturday will lead to Matt LaFleur being fired. That's not what's going to happen. And we cannot be prisoners of the moment and sit here and focus on, the last 4 games. But when you think about it, the Green Bay Packers were a really good football team through a first half against the Denver Broncos, where a lot of us were getting excited saying, wow, this may be it. And injuries decimated the team. Now it is on Matt LaFleur, it is on Goody, it is on Jeff Hafley to ensure that this team is able to get over it and be able to face adversity with victories. But unfortunately, they were not able to do that. But let's not fire a guy not looking at all the circumstances that were around this fall that the Packers have had for the last 4 weeks of football. So no, Matt LaFleur is not coaching for his job on Saturday. Regardless of the result, he will not be fired on Saturday. More than likely, he'll have an extension going into next season. So let's be more positive and get behind our team versus sitting here hoping for the downfall of Matt LaFleur. It ain't worth your time or your energy.
And the reality is, like, the criticism of LaFleur and the coaching staff in general, I mean, I can't really be that mad at them for the Denver loss. You lose Micah Parsons. You're cooking through halftime.
You lost Christian Watson as well in that game.
You are, but they are the 1 seed in the AFC, and that's a tough place to play. Kyle, you were there. And the Chicago Bear game, Jordan Love got hurt, and it was just chaos in the final 2 minutes, just absolute chaos. The one game that's damning is the Ravens game.
Yes,
I mean, that was one of the worst Packer games that I've seen in years. And if you just take away that game, you're like, you know what? I feel pretty darn good about this team.
Oh, they didn't try
the one shred of doubt. The shred of doubt that I have is that game.
I think when you say that game and you mention not trying Week 18, we all know that.
Well, that was just, they forfeit.
Basically. Yes. They should have said, all right, can we just end it now? Coin flip for the win-loss. We know we're going to, that way we might get a win if we coin flip. If it lands on his side, which is probably a 1 in a million chance, they tie. I don't know if it could happen on grass if you flipped a coin and land on its side like that.
Go right between a couple blades.
Yeah, you never know. But that Ravens game is the only thorn in the side of, there were a lot of things that happened that you could point to in the Broncos and Bears game to be like, all right, I still believe in the team.
Totally.
That Ravens performance with something on the line is the only thing that's in the back of my mind of having doubt heading into this game. Not that they can't win, of just with something to play for still. And if we're actually going to play revisionist history, the Bears did lose 2 in a row.
They sure did.
And if you win 2 in a row,
guess what?
You're at home at Lambeau Field. So that was the most disappointing part of the end of the season. It's not Week 18, but Week 17. Because
Malik
Willis played well enough.
He played his
It was
part.
the Jeff Hafley
defense
head coach prospect in the NFL. Is he going to get job opportunities, whatever? That wasn't a showing that I loved seeing for someone where you knew what he was capable of, and your defense is not great against the run since Carolina. They've been bottom 3rd. It's still no excuse for the lack of intensity and performance that they had at home.
I firmly believe the Packers offense will put up points and lots of them against the Bears. The one shred of doubt. I know I just said I don't see how the Packers can lose. The one shred. Living in the back of my scalp back here is the run game. Is if the Packers show up like they did against the Ravens, then anything can happen. And that includes an ugly
Let me tell
loss.
you, there's not very many backs that are going to be able to do what Derrick Henry did against the Green Bay Packers. It's not.
But you could argue the Bears have a better O-line.
No, the Bears have a better overall. Listen, Derrick Henry
top 5 run offense.
Yes,
despite not having the name, they have 2 different backs.
I can't get out of my head. Carrington Valentine getting pushed into the 5th dimension.
Listen. DeAndre Swift and Kyle Monangai, they ain't pushing somebody into the next
That's fine,
dimension.
but Monangai ran in the hole and made somebody's helmet pop off.
Yeah, but guess what? Quay Walker was Edgerrin Cooper got right back up. We ready to go. We keep playing football. That's what it is.
That's
so no,
true.
it was an intense game against the Bears, but the Bears don't have a guy at the level of Derrick Henry, so you don't have to worry about that. Do they have a very good rushing attack? Absolutely, and those boys run hard between the tackles. But you're not going to have somebody at the level of eliteness that you had with Derrick Henry on Saturday. So we'll be good with that, Brad. We ain't got to worry about.
I guess he is a
team.
Hall of Famer.
They ain't going for 250 against us.
What I do,
hell, they might win for more than that.
I want to move to both quarterbacks. I see the debate amongst the fans on YouTube at ESPN Milwaukee and at ESPN Madison of the Caleb Williams, Jordan Love. And I don't want to do the who has to outplay who sort of thing, but we kind of have to do it because you can't have a $55 million franchise quarterback be outplayed in a first playoff start for Caleb Williams. That would be damning. That's in 2 minutes.
Ben Brust here, and let's cut the crap. I've been sold the lie with sportswear too. You pay a fortune for big name gear, a fancy logo, and a slogan, and it still stinks. Then I found Iron Jock, and now it's all I wear. It's built on science. Their silver ion technology is woven right into the fabric. It kills 99.9% of odor-causing bacteria, and it never washes out, ever. Get yours today at ironjock.com. That's ironjoc.com.
UW Credit Union presents the Student Athlete of the Week, supporting local student athletes as they grow on the field, in the classroom, and in the community. UW Credit Union is here for every you. Learn more at uwcu.org.
With your UW Credit Union Student Athlete of the Week, I'm Will Summers. This week's UW Credit Union Student Athlete of the Week is West Allis Central Jr. and Iowa State recruit Yusuf Gray Jr. Gray led the Division I second-ranked Bulldogs to an impressive 71-44 victory over Lakeside Lutheran at the NY2LA Invite at Kettle Moraine High School. He finished with a game-high 21 points, helping West Allis Central pull away after a tight first half. After trailing midway through the opening period, the Bulldogs closed the half on a 12-4 run, then outscored Lakeside 33-17 in the second half to secure the win. Gray knocked down 10 field goals, with 8 of them coming at the rim. A top 150 recruit in the class of 2026, the 6'5" point guard continues to anchor a Bulldogs team that remains unbeaten at 6-0. Congrats to Yusuf Gray Jr., your UW Credit Union Student Athlete of the Week.
Selling your home during winter may surprise you. Serious buyers are still out there and often more eager to move.
Homes get strong offers this time of year, and with less competition, your listing can really shine.
I'm Tony Wendorf with Tony Wendorf & Associates First Weber.
And I'm Lindsay Bendler. Our team leads with faith, gratitude, and giving back, donating over $200,000 to local causes since 2020.
Tony Wendorf & Associates is ready to get to work for you with our white glove selling experience. Just search online, Tony Wendorf.
A real estate team that always leads with faith and gratitude.
Tony Wendorf & Associates.
Gabe Neitzel here. Catch Jen, Gabe, and Chewy mornings 7 to 9 on 94.5 ESPN, WKTI, and WKTI HD, Milwaukee.
A locally owned Good Karma brand station. Broadcasting live from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All studio at the Avenue in downtown Milwaukee. This is Kyle Brust and Nortman, KBN, on ESPN Wisconsin. Here's Kyle Wallace, Ben Brust, and Brad Nortman.
Packers Bears rubber match in the playoffs. First time since 2010 that they will meet in the playoffs. Kyle Brust and Nortman across ESPN Wisconsin. Strouf's running the show. Over to the KBN Sports Desk with Alex Strouf.
Only the second time of the modern era these two teams meet in the playoffs. Third time ever. The first time, 1941.
Result?
Let me look at that.
Well, you would have thought they'd face each other way more.
Yeah, you'd think. But
the Bears haven't been good
right.
at the same time the Packers have. They've sort of yin and yang.
70s and 80s were the Bears. 90s, 2000s were the Packers. Obviously, they met in 2010.
But the 2010s were still the Packers.
Well, certainly in the rivalry.
Yeah.
But both teams were kind of up and down. And then I guess I don't know way back. I'm going to talk about this later. I'm reading a book right now.
Oh, God.
Good for you. I'm reading now. Thank you. I'm reading a nonfiction book. It's called The League. It's about the first 5 main owners of the NFL way back in the 1920s and 30s. And there's a lot of mentions about Curly Lambeau and the Packers, though he was never technically the owner. But both teams were pretty good then, but they didn't really have the playoffs then. They only had a championship game. So I would assume that's probably why they didn't more back then. Maybe.
I think you're going to have to read the book and fill us in, Strouf.
I'm 190 pages deep, Benny.
How many pages?
How about the 1941 result? Get back to that.
430?
That's too many. That's too many pages. Books should have a max of 250.
Sounds like a hear Brad out. Table that. Sounds like a hear Brad out on Wednesdays. So when you look at this matchup, what can't happen outside of the run game in this game?
Yeah, I think it's really simple that we need to understand is that Jordan Love, our franchise quarterback, he cannot be outplayed by Caleb Williams in the playoffs. That is something that absolutely cannot happen. This is year 6 for Jordan Love, but more importantly, playoff game number 4 for Jordan Love, where he's had his ups and he had his downs. There is no way we should be watching on Saturday and see Caleb Williams outperforming Jordan Love in his first ever playoff game. That cannot happen whatsoever. I don't expect it to happen, but that better not be a storyline coming out how Caleb Williams outperformed our quarterback, how Caleb Williams led him downfield late for a victory. It should be all about how Jordan Love once again showed how magnificent he is, as he did the first time that he played the Chicago Bears this year when he went for over 200 yards and 3 touchdowns against them where they could not slow him down. That is what I expect. But I'm telling y'all this right now. There is no way, no how that Caleb Williams should even be close to the level of performance that we should get from Jordan Love on Saturday. Coming back off a concussion, it does not matter. He has the experience, and I fully expect that to be on display on Saturday.
Yeah, the Packers have staked their claim into who they think Jordan Love is and who they think he can be. And the clear message is they think he can be, I'm not going to go as far as saying a Love or Rodgers or Favre, but certainly a franchise quarterback. You don't pay someone $55 million to just have some level of regular season success. You pay them for this moment to when your superstar on defense is down. Maybe your running game really hasn't picked up the way you thought it did. You pay someone like Jordan Love to take the reins, take the torch, and say, guys, I got this, and go out there and cook. And you're exactly right, Kyle. This is going to be his 4th playoff start, which is a lot for someone in their third season, or third season of starting, excuse me. But Jordan Love has all the looks. He has all the qualifications. He has all of the eye test of being that quarterback for the Green Bay Packers who should cook on Saturday night. Caleb Williams, I still feel like Ben Johnson is trying to figure out ways to mask his negatives, try to put him in situations where he feels more comfortable. But the fact that he is so run heavy and doesn't try to put the ball in Caleb Williams' hands more than he can says everything I need to know about where he thinks Caleb Williams is at. Now, he's took a big step forward, but he's no Jordan Love, and he's no type of high-end quarterback that should be able to take them far into the playoffs. So, you're exactly right. Jordan Love has to, and partially this is on Matt LaFleur too, has to cook. You can't let Caleb Williams outperform you. If you do, you start to wonder what the future of this division looks like, and you start to wonder, man, maybe Caleb Williams and Ben Johnson have got something and really put some doubt into Matt LaFleur and Jordan Love. I don't see that happening, but there's no way the Packers can let that happen.
I keep seeing the and I know this is what this week is going to bring, but when talking about Caleb Williams and Jordan Love,
Caleb Williams sucks.
Caleb Williams sucks. Ha!
Caleb Williams sucks. Ha!
Forgot there's 3. From a comparison standpoint, do we need to do this again? Quarterback rating, Jordan Love, 6th. How far do I have to scroll down? 22nd is Caleb Williams in quarterback rating. QBR for Jordan Love. Guess where he is? 3rd in the NFL. All the way down to 16th for Caleb Love. I can tell you that in EPA, Love is 3rd behind Stafford and May, and Caleb Williams is in the middle of everybody. So we know the quarterback inside Jordan Love, what he's done and what he can do is there. What Caleb Williams can do is keep you in a game, and what we have seen from him is the ability to lead their team in the fourth quarter. But the Packers have an opportunity to make it not this like, all right, let's keep this as tight as can be and see if there's heroics at the end. And honestly, you don't want to be that right now. The defense isn't built the same that it was to be able to stop Caleb Williams the same way when they had Micah Parsons. So it is up to Jordan Love and this offense to find a way to take advantage of the Bears defense that is bottom 3rd in points and yards all season long. Rushing, passing, all the statistics. Nothing's changed on that front. That's what we need to keep reminding ourselves is, although the Packers have lost stuff defensively, they still have a chance offensively. Do we need to go back when Jordan Love played the full game? What did he finish with? 4 touchdowns?
3 touchdown passes, 234 yards.
After the first half, in which wasn't the
and
greatest.
Also, just understand, he ended up with 77 yards in the game that he got knocked out. He was 8 for 13 at that point. And do remember, the Packers didn't score in the first quarter against the Bears in the first game at Lambeau. And granted, we don't know what would have happened, but it was still 8 minutes left in the second quarter where he got hurt. He could have started cooking just like a lot of times teams may start slow, but then cook like they did against the first game.
Yeah, I think the ultimate litmus test is the Packers have no problem putting the ball in Jordan Love's hands, letting him cook, letting him take over the game. I think the Bears are trying to do everything possible not to put the ball in Caleb Williams' hands. They're trying to establish the run, make things easy on him, not put him in a position at the end of the game to have any sort of magic and heroics. That says everything I need to know about the confidence level, but it says everything I need to know about the game plan too. If not only are the Bears running the ball, but if Caleb Williams is having a good game, better game than Jordan Love, this is not going to be a pretty
That spells
result for the
trouble.
Green Bay Packers.
That spells trouble.
A huge
From
trouble.
an overall standpoint, if he's outplaying him through the entirety of the game, because that's something he's not been able to do throughout the entire game. We've seen it in both games.
Be incredibly unlikely to happen.
And that's the biggest thing is that Jordan Love has been the most consistent quarterback. You're going to hear a lot of folks talk about who do you want in this game? Do you want Jordan Love or do you want Caleb Williams? Only a fool would say Caleb Williams if you want somebody who's going to put you on a roller coaster ride. Kyle Wallace don't like roller coasters. I don't ride them. I'm scared of them. And so I wouldn't want to have to deal with a quarterback like that. It's not taking anything away from Caleb Williams, but facts are facts. In the first half of these two games, the Bears have only been able to score 3 total points against this Packers defense. The more consistent quarterback in this series this year has been Jordan Love. The better quarterback has been Jordan Love. Now, did Caleb Williams have some heroics in the end? Absolutely can't take it away from them, but I want 4 quarters of consistent football. And if Jordan Love does not get hurt in Chicago, the Packers win that game, period, point blank. You cannot change my mind against that because I know my quarterback is much more consistent. So I would be shocked. I would be shocked on Saturday if we don't see anything but that consistent quarterback that Jordan Love is. I understand, again, coming off the injury, I don't care. He's that dang good. In this team he's played against multiple times, he should be comfortable against a defense that he has carved up and chopped up before.
Alex Strofe, I believe you have an update on the 1941 playoff matchup between the Packers and the Bears.
Played at Wrigley Field.
Oh, wow.
Hey.
What I learned in my book, that's where the Bears used to play a lot of their games.
All right, I am already sick of Alex Strofe 2026 reading.
I'm a reading guy. I made a Goodreads account. You know
Again, I said I'm sick of it.
Do you know
that
what
reviews books.
What's
right?
that?
Isn't Goodreads reviews books?
Yeah, you can track the books you're reading and
get to the score,
and you can rate them. It's wonderful. I'm really excited to dive into my reading.
What's your
era.
over-under on books for the year to read?
I set my goal low. I set it at 10.
That's not low.
That's about
a book a month.
About one a month with a few exceptions. You know how I am when Summerfest rolls around. So I wanted.
That's what I'm saying. Life gets in the way.
Yeah, exactly. So 1941 Packers Bears divisional. It was the first ever NFL divisional playoff game on December 14th, 1941, at the aforementioned Wrigley Field. The final score. I know Ben is waiting on the edge of his seat. Bears 33, Packers 14. Making this.
A playoff rubber match.
Playoff rubber match.
Wow.
Playoff rubber match, 2025, 26 rubber match. It's all right there.
I will say this about the Jordan Love, Caleb Williams, how they perform against one another. Caleb Williams outperforms Jordan Love. This Malik Willis, Jordan Love debate will only get louder.
That's
Malik
very
Willis is
true.
going to
I
free
already
agency.
heard what happens if Jordan Love starts slow. Do you bring in Malik Willis? I've seen it. Seen it on the Cardinals Talking text line.
Not at all. Not at all.
I mean, you don't, but I'm just saying there are people out there that think Malik Willis is a better quarterback. You should keep him around. If Jordan Love doesn't go out there and assert himself as the best quarterback in the division, which he is and which he should continue to grow into, the criticism, the questions only get louder for a very long
For
offseason.
those who have that criticism, which is not valid, but I understand you watch something like, oh, that's good. You kind of forget what you actually have, which is really good with Jordan Love. Jordan Love, in that game against the Bears, remember, the Bears came back against the Packers. And what did Jordan Love do? Hell yeah, just drove him downfield, get the touchdown. We got the lead now. Malik Willis was unable to put that game away. Elite quarterbacks like Jordan Love are able to put games away like that. That's something that we have seen more consistently where Jordan Love has put this team up late. And so, again, Malik is going to hopefully get an opportunity to start somewhere else next year, but he ain't no Jordan Love.
Double rubber match.
The double rubber
Thanks
match.
to Strofe reading books.
I'm going to find more stats that just continue to elevate the circumstances of this matchup in the wild card round.
I don't know if we need stats for that. I think we know that there's a deep history and this means a lot.
No, Ben, what you don't understand is, yes, this feels massive. It's big. Both teams believe this is their best matchup in the wild card round. It's the rubber match for the season. It's the new young gun quarterbacks. It's the new up-and-coming head coach in Chicago and the established young gun in Matt LaFleur. There's all these circumstances, but my goal this week is to find as many circumstances that I can bake into this giant circumstantial cake to make this the biggest wild card game in the history of Super Wild Card Weekend.
I mean, you want to talk about droughts? We talk about how Matt LaFleur had what was he, 11-0 against the Bears up until the Malik Willis played last season.
More than that, or was
the Bears?
I really didn't get enough credit for circumstantial cake.
It's all right. Go back to your book.
The Bears haven't beat the Packers in the playoffs in 85 years. Think about that, Chicago Bears fan. 85
More circumstantial
years.
cake. I can't believe I just said circumstantial
I'm throwing
cake.
my flavors into the circumstantial cake.
Got anything else to add, Kyle?
Yeah, I don't read books like that, and I don't really care what happened 85 years ago. I'm not
Also
really
valid.
I'm more worried about the rubber match from this season, not one from 1941. I can't believe they scored.
You don't
30
believe
points.
85 years of history will culminate into a big cake of
The game, let's just put it this way. There
God.
was no Jordan Love or Malik Willis back in 1941.
But in 1941, the Chicago Bears won the NFL championship.
Wow. Wait, I thought oh, yes, okay.
Very
You ever see
significant show.
Beat
footage
the New York
from
Giants.
like the 20s and the 30s and the
See him
40s?
galloping.
It is a difference.
It's like when I watch Kuzi play
Oh,
basketball.
yeah, there's photos in my book. It's crazy.
Everyone loves the That's Crazy guy. All right, Brad, you're going to take us into the mindset here. I know the decision was made, but as somebody who played for a 15-1 team?
Yes, sir.
I imagine you probably didn't have everyone play in the Week 17 game.
Yeah, throttled back a little bit.
From a player's perspective, and I don't know if you can add into they lost 4 straight heading into this game perspective. I think it was the right decision to rest players, but I want to know from you as playing in the NFL what that does from a psyche standpoint for the team heading into this wild card game against the Bears on Saturday. More next. It's Kyle Brust Nortman across ESPN Wisconsin.
This is Kyle Brust Nortman.
So in my short time here, I've come to learn about these things I call them Strofe days, where he's doing something for himself, and then he just wipes his calendar, regardless of how it may affect other people.
On ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
We're starting off with some delays. Westbound 94 slowing down from 27th Street all the way to Hawley Road. Eastbound slowing down before 84th Street all the way to about Mitchell Boulevard. Other than that, we're looking pretty good across the area. And checking the TMJ4 Storm King forecast tonight, mixed precipitation to the north, a chance of rain later on, a low of 32. Tomorrow, morning rain, then mostly cloudy, a high of 40. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
Whether it's live or in podcast form, you've heard us on air with all of our shenanigans.
Gabe, I'm throwing some. Why are you throwing? I don't want.
Now see your favorite 94.5 ESPN shows streaming on video.
Made by me, by the way. I hit that microphone like 4 out of 6 times on that.
Subscribe to ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube and get notified when we hit the air live. Plus, you can watch back any second that you miss and see original digital content too. Watch, listen, interact. ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube.
Can you feel it? It's the thrill of witnessing a walk-off grand slam, a game-winning touchdown, a buzzer-beating 3. Yeah, you know the feeling. And there's only one place to experience that raw exhilaration. Potawatomi Sportsbook. Catch all the action in a supreme space with dozens of sports betting kiosks, cool drinks, luxe seating, great food, fiery atmosphere, and a monster video wall. Become a legend at Potawatomi Sportsbook. More info online. Must be 21 to enter casino.
Kevin Moret here for Mentality. Listen up, gentlemen. You're fighting an unfair battle. Studies show testosterone levels in men have plummeted by 25% in just 2 decades. That's why you're struggling with energy, muscle, and drive. But here's a game changer. Mentality's FDA-approved treatments boost testosterone by 30% on average. Imagine reclaiming the vitality your grandfathers had. Picture turning heads, dominating your career, and feeling unstoppable again. Don't settle for today's normal. Seize the day at mentalityhealth.com/radio. That's mentalityhealth.com/radio.
It's ESPN Wisconsin's Gabe Neitzel for Events by Design. Events like appreciation parties and retreats can go a long way towards boosting morale and retaining top talent. Events by Design is your go-to creative partner for employee events that truly make an impact. They help leaders retain top talent by making their people feel seen, valued, and celebrated. The creative team at Events by Design does all the planning and production, making sure things not only look great, but also work. Make a smart investment in your culture today. Search online, Events by Design. They design, you party.
It's time for the Milwaukee Basketball Report on 94.5 ESPN. Brought to you by National Liquor Mart, located at 16th and National in Milwaukee. National Liquor Mart is packed with deals for all your beverage needs, where your satisfaction is their plan of action. Open 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. daily.
The Bucks survived a late scare to beat the Kings 115-98 in Sacramento on Sunday night, improving to 16-20 on the season. Milwaukee led by as many as 26 in the third, but saw that margin shrink to 3 before responding in the fourth. It was Giannis Antetokounmpo taking over late, finishing with 37 points and 11 rebounds. Here's head coach Doc Rivers after the game.
I thought our non-Giannis minutes in the first half were phenomenal. And I thought that actually opened the game for us because it allowed us to sit Giannis a little longer. So I thought that was key.
The Bucks have now won 4 out of their last 5 and will look to continue that trend on their West Coast road trip with a matchup against the Warriors on Wednesday night.
This has been the Milwaukee Basketball Report on 94.5 ESPN. Brought to you by National Liquor Mart. This is Kyle Brust Nortman, KBN, on ESPN Wisconsin, ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube, and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Brust, Kyle Wallace, Brad Nortman, Alex Strofe running the show. UKBN Nation, as always, on the Carbless Talking text line 800-990-3776. And if you want to get in the action on YouTube, you definitely can on YouTube at ESPN Milwaukee and at ESPN Madison. Now, I wholeheartedly agree with the decision to rest, but the psyche behind that, I can't speak to from a resting player's standpoint. So we go to Brad Nortman, who did play in the NFL for 6 years. He did have to punt in the games when everyone else had to sit out. But what does that do heading into the playoffs from a psyche standpoint?
Yeah, so there was a couple times where playing for the Panthers, we either were able to rest guys or we had the bye. So basically, in effect, the same thing where you have a week off where everyone throttles down, you're not in game prep mode, and things change because you go through basically...
Everyone mess around or no?
They try to police against that. If you got good leadership, you're probably not doing that. Preseason games, there's like no rules. Guys are in street clothes and tennis shoes. They're eating Skittles on the sideline. I mean, it's just crazy. No rules. It's crazy. It's
I can't believe those professional athletes are putting sugar in their body.
Sugar, artificial dyes. It's crazy. But anyway.
What did you do during practice?
Well, I ate a lot of sunflower seeds.
Yeah.
That was my thing.
Hanging out.
Anyway, yeah, hanging out, talking shop. Each time had very different...
Sorry, how dare that the position players and skill players did that, Kyle, for 2 preseason games.
What was your favorite...
and Brad did that the whole season.
What was your favorite flavor of sunflower seeds?
Dill pickle. But actually crazy, I don't like pickles.
Very strange.
I guess I like artificially flavored pickles, but not true pickles. I know, shocking, right? When we had a bye or when we rested people, there was 2 times it happened. First time was 2013. Second time was 2015. Both division winners, right? In the playoffs, how did it come out into fruition? In 2013, in the divisional round, was able to skip the wild card round. Obviously, at the time, 2 seed had the bye. Played an experienced, tough San Francisco 49ers team that was just coming off of a Super Bowl appearance. We got our butts kicked. It was a close game on the scoreboard, but we were not prepared. We were flat. We were out of sync from an offensive standpoint, and we got out-physicaled on every side of the ball, and that was a home game. If you fast forward 2 years, when we were a 15-1 team, we played Seattle Seahawks after a bye, again, in the divisional round, and we creamed them. This was the Legion of Boom, kind of that like last little hurrah of their little dynasty. It was 31-0 at halftime. I mean, we steamrolled them. Now they got some.
That's got to be a good feeling.
It felt great. It felt really good. They got some, some fourth quarter. It looked closer than it actually was, but we came out rolling. My takeaway was from experiencing both was teams that are experienced, that are mature, that are ready for the moment. They benefit from the rest. They're able to sort of compartmentalize that, stay mentally engaged, but allow physically for their bodies to become repaired. That's what happened in 2015. Now, we went on, obviously, to win another game and go on to the Super Bowl, but that's what we had. We had experience in that moment, and we knew exactly what you need to do to stay engaged. We'd been there before. This is our 3rd year in a row being in the playoffs. So the mental break was able to stay engaged, and our bodies were able to heal. Not our bodies, the other teams, our players' bodies. When we lost in 2013, came out flat. It was our first time in the playoffs, right? Guys didn't really know exactly what they were doing. The moment felt too big for them. Couldn't really lock in mentally with allowing their bodies to continue to heal. So that was the main differentiating factor for me. I think rest, whether it be the bye or resting players in the Week 18 game, it benefits experienced teams. But if you're inexperienced, it hurts you.
Well, you said something after the experience part. Correct me if I'm wrong. You said experienced and mature.
Yes.
What would you say the 2025 Green Bay Packers are? Experienced and mature? That tells me all I need to know. You're not giving me a snap answer.
I think they are.
Really? But why'd you think so long about it?
Well, the offense is. That's what my pause was. I feel like this offense is experienced and mature. This is Jordan Love's, as we talked about earlier, 4th career start. Most of these wide receivers been around for a long time. Josh Jacobs is a pro. O-line, I could kind of take or leave. It's the defensive side of the ball that I'm a little bit more uncertain about. All the injuries, in both D-line and secondary. I guess you got the linebackers that have a level of experience, but it's the defensive side of the ball that does.
There's one defensive end with a lot of experience.
Yeah, just not a lot of stats.
I have no response to that. You're exactly right. I mean, I thought that he was.
Quay's been around.
Retired.
Xavier McKinney played well last year in a sense. That's a player. I mean,
that's a player.
I mean, well,
that's a player.
I'm looking around. I can't sit there and say Javon Buller and Evan Williams. They were around last year, but it's a little bit different. But for me, I think you're absolutely right when it comes to the level of experience. I mean, we're talking about a lot of guys that are going to be having their 2nd, 3rd, and 4th playoff game. Now, the maturity is something as a team that we're going to find out.
That's why I brought up maturity, because the maturity thing struck me.
Well, because, Brett, you talked about having the maturity to be able to stay mentally locked in and not allow for that break to mess up anything, right? So you're able to hit the ground running. Mm-hmm. And that is something that we're going to find out. Before Ben said, oh, this is the most important game for the Packers, for Jordan Love and Matt LaFleur ever as a coach duo. I don't think that's the most important game, but I do believe that we can still find out a lot of information about this football team, about this coach, about this quarterback as a whole moving forward from what we see from this game, because it was a risk to me of not playing guys, because I do believe in momentum. I think momentum is important. I think seeing success and being able to, replicate that can get teams going. I think that Lions game that the Packers had gave them a lot of confidence to move forward, and then injuries kind of devastated them moving on from that. But overall, when you look at what Matt LaFleur did when he rested these guys, that was the right decision for this team. And they ended up getting a matchup which allowed them to rest them and not be able to have to say, well, we haven't seen these guys before. No, you've seen them before, and I think this is going to be a perfect thing for them, because I believe they'll be physically and mentally ready for the task at hand on Saturday.
I will say, if Matt LaFleur, I do believe he made the right decision as well, right? Guys will be rested, and I think that physically they'll be ready to play. They'll probably feel the best they have in months, quite honestly.
Yeah.
If they're able to take the rest and be able to play a good game and beat Chicago, whether it beat it close or beat them handedly, it tells me that this team, structured as they are, I don't think they're going to win a Super Bowl this year, but it says to me they're closer to a Super Bowl than maybe I give them credit for in future years going forward. It says to me that they do have that maturity, they do have that experience to take what is a strange week and not playing. It's impossible to exactly approach it the same way. But if you can do that, if you can take the mental break, or take the physical break and not take yourself off mentally and go into a hostile environment and beat the Bears, it tells me that this team is closer to a Super Bowl, and they're maybe in their Super Bowl window more than I've given them credit for, and especially from the team that we've seen all year in the Green Bay Packers.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think the rest actually gives the Packers a huge advantage in this game on Saturday. It really does. The Lions and Bears was a physical game where they went out and they exerted everything. Now you're talking about the Bears coming off a short week.
No, short week for sure.
Where they have to play against a Green Bay team that is, the Packers are physical, and the Packers are a team that knows what the Bears have to offer. So the Packers have the advantage in the sense that their coach decided to rest these guys, and when we see on Saturday, they should be well rested, and I don't think they'll miss a beat when it comes to the level of physicality that they need. If this team doesn't come out physical, I will be very upset, and I think that'll be indicative of Matt LaFleur as a leader of this team. They should be out here ready to go, because this is a big game against a rival team.
You have the rest, you have the experience. If they don't come out rolling, I'll be disappointed in this team, and it tells me that they're pretty far from their Super Bowl window. A team that is knocking on the door takes this rest. They show up Saturday night, and they get it done.
This means Alex Strofe wants to chime in with some more I don't even know how you described it.
I'm adding ingredients and layers to the circumstantial cake that is the biggest wild card game in NFL history. It's a rubber match of the playoffs. If you're just joining us, this will be the third meeting of the Packers and the Bears in the NFL postseason. This being number 3, 2010 NFC Championship game being number 2, and way back, the very first divisional round game ever played in 1941, which the Bears defeated the Packers at Wrigley Field on December 14th of 1941. Bill, our buddy Bill, chimes in, a proud member of KBN Nation on the Carbless text line, 800-990-3776, says, to show how big the NFL has always been, that playoff game was exactly 1 week after the attack on Pearl Harbor. December 7th.
Wow, that's some circumstantial cake being added.
The circumstances.
How are those men still here? They should have been going to war.
Many of them did. You should read the book.
So basically,
I'm so sick of this stupid book you're reading.
Wait, are you telling me that the teams were depleted because they enlisted, or did they play the game?
This happened multiple times because the book starts back in the 1920s. Brad, you're going to have to read it once I'm done. I bet you'd enjoy it.
Wait, what happened in the 1920s?
Maybe you'll come across this. Did you know that the Philadelphia Eagles
Nerd
and the
man.
Pittsburgh Steelers
it's the Steagles.
were so depleted because of men going off to World War II that they said, let's just combine teams, and they called them the Steagles.
Ooh, the lucky men. They didn't have to go fight.
That?
Art Rooney.
The Steagles.
Art Rooney was the owner of the Steelers. I'm blanking on the owner of the Eagles, although he's in my book. I should know this.
Yeah.
Come on, do you even retain anything you read, or are you just, using your eyes?
They threw a lot of names at me very fast.
This book is either going to be one of the best things that happen in the show or one of the worst things that happen. I haven't decided yet.
The layers of cake. I'm a big 8-layer cake guy. You might as well have some cake if you're going to enjoy it.
Scheduled to appear next is Jason Wilde. You got a lot to get to here with Jason Wilde, host of Wilde and Tausch, 9 to noon across these various stations.
This is Kyle Brust Nortman, KBN.
Brad.
Kyle.
I know
Kyle.
On ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
We've got westbound 94 tightening up just a bit from just before 27th Street all the way to Hawley Road. Beyond that, you're looking good all the way into Waukesha County. On the eastbound side, slowing from 92nd Street to Hawley Road. And then we've got one little pocket of heavy traffic southbound 43 just through the Marquette. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast. Tonight, mixed precipitation to the north, chance of rain with a low of 32. Tomorrow, morning rain, mostly cloudy, otherwise a high of 40. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
Is it time to buy an engagement ring?
Or a big anniversary diamond?
Kessler's has diamonds that come from diamond mines.
And we also have diamonds that come from plasma chambers.
When you see the size of the diamond you can afford when you look at our high-tech newborn created diamonds,
You're going to be happy, happy, happy.
and with approved credit, our financing plans make anything possible.
Our selection of engagement rings is beyond compare.
And our custom design department can modify any ring in any way you choose.
Anyone who says they can give you a better ring
Or a better diamond.
Or a better price
has never been to Kessler's.
And our miraculous no small print warranty says,
If you bought it at Kessler's, it's guaranteed.
It's just that simple.
And all maintenance is free forever.
No charge.
yes, it really is that miraculous.
You found a partner you want to share your life with.
When you're ready to celebrate,
we've got a diamond for that.
Find the Kesslers nearest you at KesslersDiamonds.com.
Let's get the latest from Lambeau. This is your green and gold fix on 94.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Tri-City National Bank. Tri-City National Bank offers a full suite of personal and business banking products at more than 25 convenient locations. Open your account today at the community bank that's Milwaukee's best bank. Learn more at tcnb.com.
The Packers closed the regular season with a 16-3 loss to the Vikings while resting most of their starters. Quarterback Clayton Tune was sacked 4 times, and punter Daniel Whelan logged 8 punts for 431 yards. The fifth fifth most in team history. Here's head coach Matt LaFleur after the game.
I think our guys are excited. They're excited for the challenge. They're excited for the opportunity, and that's how we're going to attack it, and that's our mindset, because right now, when you get to the postseason, everybody's 0-0. It's a clean slate, so we have an opportunity, and that's all you can ask for.
The Packers finished the season at 9-7-1 and will now head to Chicago to take on the Bears in the first round of the playoffs.
This has been your Green and Gold Fix on 94.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Tri-City National Bank, your hometown bank.
Concerned about fraud? Tri-City's got your back. Use debit card alerts. Help stop a card hack. You'll get notified when your card's being used so you can prevent your account from abuse. Tri-City National Bank, member FDIC.
Did you know Professional Construction Inc. has an in-house team of interior designers? We're excited to bring our expertise to you with our brand new virtual interior design program. Maybe you're not ready for a full construction project, but you are ready to refresh that outdated room. Our PCI design team creates stunning photorealistic renderings, a mood board, and a curated shopping list, all delivered to you in just days.
For all your construction and design needs,
visit professionalconstructioninc.com.
When you're high, you feel different. Pretty obvious, right? You think different, talk different, but if you feel different, you drive different. So if you're high, just don't drive. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
You're listening to Kyle Brust and Nortman, KBN, on ESPN Wisconsin, ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube, and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
The people that watch the Jets regularly, those poor people, I don't know.
Three-time Wisconsin Sports Writer of the Year.
This is like me announcing that I'll be on Wilde's couch tomorrow. I mean, God willing, if the creek don't rise.
Holding everybody accountable.
You play to your strength, and their strengths, if their offensive line can block the right people.
Jason Wilde is on Kyle Brust and Nortman.
Now do you want it? You heard the big voice guy. It is Kyle Brust and Nortman across ESPN Wisconsin, and joining us is Jason Wilde. Saw Jason on YouTube at ESPN Milwaukee earlier on Wilde and Tausch. Jason, how are you?
I'm good, guys. How are you?
Doing well. And I want you to tell me if I'm being pommy or not.
Oh, pommy.
I believe this is the biggest game of the LaFleur Love tenure.
To date, probably with the Love caveat, absolutely. Like, I don't think we expected them to do what they did in Dallas when they did that. I think we took the attitude of the 49ers game was playing with house money until they had the lead in the third or fourth quarter, and then you were like, they could really go to the NFC Championship game here in Dornlow's first year as a starter, and then things kind of went to heck. But last year, I mean, I don't think we expected them to turn the ball over 4 times, but this is against a rival, against the team that you split the season series with, against a team that is up and coming in your division that you're going to be dealing with now moving forward, against the coach who loves to take shots at your head coach.
So you think there was a shot, huh?
Yes, I definitely think so. I don't think that was inadvertent by any means. So yes, and frankly, like, look, I know there are others in my line of work that have taken a stronger stance on Matt LaFleur and whether he should be fired or not. I'm not in their group. I think even if they were to lose this game, I wouldn't fire him personally, because I do think losing your best player on each side of the ball is a major problem, and you can't pretend that it's not. But that said, you lose 5 straight games to end the season, including a playoff game to the Bears. I could see that happening. I could see a policy doing that. I don't think.
Did you read Policy's perspective?
I could see it happening. I did. I didn't find that to be overly convincing that he would never do such a thing. But I thought it was encouraging if you think Matt LaFleur deserves to remain the Packers head coach, and if you are one of the very strongly opinionated folks on social media and just in the fan base in general who don't think he should be. I think he probably read that and found it discouraging because it did sound like a vote of confidence of some sort.
Jason, taking a little trip down memory lane, thinking about when I was on the Panthers and we had, whether we rested guys or had a bye in the playoffs, I found that when we were inexperienced and immature, it harmed us and we ended up losing. When we were experienced and mature, was able to stay, mentally locked in while physically resting, it benefited us, and we ended up doing very well on the field and going off on winning games in the playoffs. Now, my question to you is, would you describe this Packers team as experienced and mature so that the rest actually benefits them?
Yeah, it's a great question, Brad.
Thanks, Jason.
And I'm gonna respond by saying experienced and immature. Right? I mean, I think we've seen some immaturity in terms of, Rasheed Walker. I don't think he's talked to us since the undefeated comment. He was really, he felt like it was unfair how that got blown up. But I mean, he was not misquoted. He was not taken out of context. He said the whole thing, and I certainly included the part where he said, "I thought that last year, though." Okay, but you still said it. That's immature, right? Maybe the way they've handled some games has felt immature. Maybe getting a little too big for their britches has felt immature, but they're not inexperienced. I mean, they got that 2022 draft class that is the bedrock of their roster. Those guys are plenty experienced at this time. They're all fourth-year players. So they need to be more mature, and I think we'll find out a little bit about their maturity and how they handled the approach Matt LaFleur took. I'll be honest, I came around on the approach. Gabe and I did the show last Tuesday with Tausch out, and we both kind of agreed, hey, they need to play those guys some. And then I thought Matt LaFleur, who I don't always agree with, obviously. I certainly didn't agree with having Love be active, although I did find it funny that he answered my question by saying that we had decided ahead of time there would be no passes thrown, that Love would have stayed in and handed off.
Well, they tried to do that all game anyway, but dude.
Fair. That's fair. But I did decide kind of as we went through the process that it was too risky, and I understood where he was coming from because he was clearly scarred by last year's game against the Bears at Lambeau Field in the finale. So I want to see if they're mature enough to use this to their advantage, but I do think that given their situation, this was the right play. I would have loved, though, to have seen a healthy Malik Willis, because I think Malik Willis beats those guys. I don't think there's any question in my mind, no matter who he's throwing to.
No matter who's blocking for him?
I think they would have won. Yeah, I think exactly. I think that as well. Now, they gave Clayton Tune no chance. And one of the problems, frankly, was, and I know Matt LaFleur said he had to look at the tape, but I don't know, there was one play where they single blocked an edge rusher with practice squad tight end Drake Dabney, which I felt like that was a error in game planning. And then there was another one where the same guy beat Jordan Morgan off the line of scrimmage, like Jordan Morgan didn't know the snap count. And so, I haven't had a chance to go back and look at all of their offensive snaps.
Oh, you're going to do that? Brutal.
I want to look at Jordan Morgan.
That's
because
fair.
I have a sneaking suspicion that maybe he's not that good. He's been very inconsistent. He's had some moments where he's played pretty well for them, and then obviously he's had some moments where he hasn't.
Jason, health is essential.
Another first-round pick.
Yeah,
Sorry, I just couldn't help myself from laughing at that.
Yeah, no,
I just have
it's not funny,
He said, I have a sneaking suspicion he's just not very good. That was exactly what he just said.
I think we have the lead for Weekly Wildy.
Holy crap.
No,
man.
I'm with him.
Wait, Stroh, Strofe, do you disagree with that assessment?
No, not one bit, Jason.
He just doesn't like to hear it.
It's my frustration with 2019 Rashawn Gary. What's he done the last 10 weeks? Lucas Van Ness, where's he been all season? Jordan Morgan, first-round pick 2 years. Where's Matthew Golden been all year? These first-round picks haven't done anything.
Yeah,
except Jordan.
And you left Darnell Savage off the list because he doesn't even play for the team anymore.
Oh,
yeah,
my goodness.
and something that stung a little bit is you've drafted Cole Van Lannon.
You left Eric Stokes out, who's looking good.
He played
actually
for the Raiders.
good story for him.
Yeah, I'm going to say Cole Van Lannon got cut from you. Now he's a $50 million
That's
man.
crazy.
Yeah. Now you're
wild,
struggling at the guard position. So that's indicative of Goody. But one thing I do want to talk about is the fact that I understand.
Is that indicative of Goody? Goody got the guy.
He cut Cole Van Lannon. What are you talking about?
Yeah, but if he wasn't being coached up, I don't know. That's an interesting discussion.
Well,
I'm
put
not
it
sure
to
we have time
Jason.
for it, but
Sure, Jason. Do you think that's on coaching or you think that's on Goody for cutting Cole Van Lannon?
I think that's on Goody for not being patient with him. They've been patient with other guys.
They sure have been.
They were not patient with him. But I will also say this, and Strofe, I don't want this sound graft, but I think there's a feeling among many that they will probably go in a different direction with their offensive line coach. I do think there's been some frustration there. But again, I think before Adam Stenovich moved to the offensive coordinator role, I think there was a universal feeling that he was a very good offensive line coach. So I don't remember what year Van Lannon was drafted. If it was 19, 20, or 21, that would have been still when
21. I think he was the best.
Yeah.
He was probably the best draft pick in that 21 class that they had.
Well, that's not a high bar.
Not saying much, yeah.
So wait a minute. So what you're saying, Jason, is that Rich Bisaccia may still be around, but there's some feelings that Stenovich will be gone before Bisaccia?
No, not Stenovich. No,
the offensive line coach.
Offensive line coach. Okay. Got it.
Luke Butkus. But again, I'm not. And I don't know. I think maybe they're looking at it as they need someone, kind of an old wily guy. Again, I don't know what Matt LaFleur is thinking, and there's so many things that could happen between now and then. I mean, if they fire the head coach, they blow out the entire staff, and obviously then you don't know what the future holds.
Jason, I do want to know, I don't think there's enough conversation about rhythm. The Packers have lost 4 straight games. Are people not talking about the fact that this team just hasn't been playing great football despite some of the injuries, but losing 4 straight games going to the playoffs shouldn't give you a lot of high hopes, right?
Well, I mean, I think you got to look at – I don't think it's as simple as – because, yes, if you simply say this team has lost 4 straight games heading into the playoffs, I think Domofsky had in his story today from NFL or from ESPN Research that only 3 other teams in NFL history have entered the playoffs on a 4-game losing streak.
Mm-hmm.
And only one of them was like the 1986 Jets who won a game. Right, that I don't think that means much though. Like it very rarely happens. So what does that mean? But I think if you just say they've lost 4 straight, what does that cause you to react to that? You would say, okay, that sounds like bad momentum. Sounds like going the other direction. Now I would argue, and I've said this before. I think I said it to Strofe. Maybe I said it to you guys too. Let's look at the 4 losses. Packers are leading 23-14 in Denver. They go for the kill shot on the deep ball to Watson. Watson gets hurt. He ends up leaving in an ambulance. Shortly thereafter, their star defensive end ruptures his ACL and is done for the season. They were still winning at the time of Micah Parsons' injury. They're up 23-21. These guys are human. Things, they struggled. The Bears, they should have won the Bears game even though their backup quarterback played most of the game after losing Jordan Love to the concussion in the second quarter. There's no excuse for the Baltimore game defensively. That deserves all the criticism in the world. I don't care that it was one of the greatest running backs ever. There were too many instances where he was getting a 3 or 4 yard head start with blocking before he was even being touched. So it wasn't like he was just running through guys. And yesterday, you guys saw yesterday, or maybe you were smart enough not to watch yesterday.
Well, I cut out after halftime. I couldn't do it.
Yeah. So if they play like garbage for 4 games, I would agree with that. But I would also say they haven't. I don't think they're going in a negative direction because of that losing streak. I would also argue that they have very little to no positive momentum. So they're kind of, if you had a spectrum, they're kind of in the middle, which is not a great place to be either.
Well, Jason, we appreciate the insights. We will definitely be talking to you on Thursday. Be listening to Wilde and Tausch.
All right, guys. Take care. Be good.
Jason Wilde, 9 to noon every day across ESPN Wisconsin. It is the new year, and you have the best place in Wisconsin, the cleanest health clubs, a great environment. You can have a strong body, a strong mind, and have a strong community. And you can have that growth that you're looking for in 2026. Get your tour. See the Princeton clubs. Feel the environment. They're always upgrading their facilities in Madison or the new Berlin location. Get the best rate of the year right now at the Princeton Club in 2026. Your better tomorrow can start today. No goal is too big or too small. Join the Princeton Club for a better tomorrow. Brad Nortman tried to take my advice, which is usually, as he says, I'm swinging a pretty good percentage here on advice to Brad. He couldn't listen to me. He'll tell you what he couldn't listen to me with next.
This is Kyle Brust Nortman.
Here's the worst thing that happened about Brad Nortman producing Kyle Brust Nortman, and is Kyle, you know what's going to happen? He's going to have so much like softness in his heart for producers.
I lost the guy.
On ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app. With Wilde and Tausch, you won't miss a play.
Nobody should be writing the season off. The idea of being one of the top teams without two of your best players is a big reach. But this is a season that you can find ways to do it.
Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin.
You think anybody ever feels sorry for the Green Bay Packers? They don't. And they shouldn't. And you shouldn't.
Weekdays from 9 to noon on 94.5 ESPN. ESPN Milwaukee's YouTube channel and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
You've already put in the work. Now there's a way to make it count towards your degree. At Lakeland University, your work and life experience can earn you college credit, helping you finish faster, saving time and money. With flexible evening and online classes, plus multiple start dates, Lakeland fits your life. Study 100% online at one of our 6 locations across Wisconsin or on our residential campus in Sheboygan County. Customize your degree to fit your life, your goals, your future, without missing the moments that matter, at work or at home. Your experience matters here. Lakeland University. Experience it your way.
Looking up at the Marquette banners, brought to you by Saganiac Planning. Number 20, Maurice Lucas, retired in 2006. Lucas at Marquette only 2 years, but he was so good. 74 NCAA championship game against NC State, 40 minutes, 21 points, 13 rebounds. In the semi-win over Kansas, 18 points, 14 rebounds, and 4 blocks. Also, that game-winning shot in a win over Wisconsin that created the legendary post-game photo of the father of 2 Badger players very upset with Al McGuire. For your fellow fanatics and your number 1 fans, for your game day compatriots and your personal cheerleaders, for all the reasons you smile, get covered with dental and vision insurance from Delta Dental of Wisconsin and Delta Vision. Support your overall health so you can be your best for those who matter to you most. Call Eric Pearson. Eric Pearson, Saganiac Planning, 262-783-6161. Saganiac Planning, a name synonymous with employee benefits and top-notch service.
It's Faison who rises up, throws it down. Faison Fields is a man possessed.
Faison Fields and the Milwaukee Panthers men's basketball team take on Northern Kentucky this Friday. Tip-off is at 7 p.m. at Panther Arena. From clutch three-pointers to rim-rattling dunks to game-changing blocks, you'll experience all the action. Ticket prices start at just $23. Help tilt the floor this Friday at 7. Visit mkepanthers.com for tickets. Panther Athletics for the MKE.
Kick off the new year with a smarter home and bigger savings with Exterior Pros and Baths. New windows to lock in the warmth, durable roofing, eye-catching siding, or a stunning bath makeover. Start the year off right and get $3,000 off your project. That's right, $3,000 back in your pocket during our New Year savings event. Call 262-800-4274 or visit extpros.com today. This deal won't last all winter. Exterior Pros and Baths. New year, new home, done right.
The pursuit of fair wages and top-of-the-line benefits is achieved when the right union has your back. The Sheet Metal Workers Labor Union is extremely diverse, representing Wisconsinites working HVAC, architectural metals, welding, specialty fabrication, and much more. Make great living wages with outstanding benefits, pensions, and apprenticeship programs in trained, safe working environments. The Sheet Metal Workers Union is a leading force in the revitalization of the labor movement in Wisconsin.
Can you feel it?
It's the thrill of witnessing a walk-off grand slam, a game-winning touchdown, a buzzer-beating 3. Yeah, you know the feeling. And there's only one place to experience that raw exhilaration. Potawatomi Sportsbook. Catch all the action in a supreme space with dozens of sports betting kiosks, cool drinks, luxe seating, great food, fiery atmosphere, and a monster video wall. Become a legend at Potawatomi Sportsbook. More info online. Must be 21 to enter casino.
You're listening to Kyle, Brust, and Nortman on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
All right, Bradley. I told you how I'm late on all my wedding thank you notes, which I dropped Strofes off at his desk today. Kyle, did I give yours?
You did.
Okay, good. All right, all you guys are done.
I haven't opened it yet. Am I supposed to do that?
You can do it on the air if you want to run and get it.
No, I have it. It's in my backpack.
I told Brad, because Brad does the thing where he gets a thank you note and feels like he needs to hold on for it 2 days just to throw it away. And I'm like, just throw it away. What is it sitting on the counter going to do for 2 days? Did you get a thank you note? And did you throw it away?
Yeah, so Ben extended a challenge to me. The next thank you note you get, I want you to open it up. I want you to read it, and I want you to promptly throw it in the trash. That was the challenge. I said, I don't know if I'll be able to do it, but maybe I'll try. Well, little did I know my opportunity would come right around the corner. Now, roll back a little bit. As we were talking about that segment on air, every once in a while, Lexi, back at the estate, will throw on our show on the TV. Sometimes the boys like looking at it and pointing, and they recognize me. Meanwhile, our babysitter was there as well. We got our babysitter a birthday or a Christmas gift. So literally the next day, our babysitter hears the segment. She writes us a thank you for those Christmas. Lovely. She's a great babysitter, great person. Well, it's a wonderful thank you note. Hands it to us. And what do you know? She's back today. So I can't possibly take that thank you note that she wrote us. She's expecting to probably see it out there.
No, she's not.
I couldn't take that. If maybe you receive a thank you from someone like Ben, who, maybe won't be at the estate over the next couple of days, I could throw it away because the whole idea is that you'll never know. She'll know. Yeah. She'll know she poured into that thank you note, and she'll know that I went like this, looked at it.
Poured into it? She write you a novel?
No.
And then ripped it up and throw it away.
I just opened your thank you note, and it's shockingly thoughtful. It's actually very nice.
Throw it away.
How would you feel if he just took that and threw it right in the trash?
I've got to give it to my girlfriend because her name's on it as well. She's got to read it too. But
then tell her to throw it away. You read it. It's great. It's nice.
But it's thoughtful and.
What are you going to do? Put it on the fridge?
Put it on the countertop for a couple days.
I might keep it to hang it over your head. I didn't know you were capable of this.
All right, do you want to read it?
Please read it.
It says,
oh, no, don't give him the satisfaction. Don't.
No. Or you could also read it and be like, oh, he don't mean it.
He told you to throw it away. He said, well, you want to read it? Don't stroke his ego this early in 2026.
Here's the thing, Kyle. I think it's important context for KBN Nation to know he's not actually always a total jerk.
Ben knows how to turn it on when he wants to.
Apparently, Alex and girlfriend. Although you self-proclaimed yourself, that's not correct English, yourself MVP of the night wrongfully, we had a blast celebrating our special day with you both of you. Wow.
Oh my God. Wait.
Now you're airing the man out.
Say that sentence again. There was multiple grammatical errors.
Yeah, the handwritten is.
Although you self-proclaimed yourself MVP of the night.
Self-proclaimed
yourself. Although you self-proclaimed yourself MVP of the night wrongfully, we had a blast celebrating our special day with you, both of you.
Oh, my God.
It's like fifth grade, Ben.
This can't be real.
Successfully turned that $10 Pato ticket to $0. Thanks again for the thoughtful gift, and look forward to watching you two grow together. Love, Ben, Mrs. Brust, and Little Brust.
Wow.
Yeah.
Damn, that's too many grammatical errors,
I will say the next sentence, successfully turned that Pato ticket into $0. That's a fragment.
Yeah, look at Brad.
You should be saying, I successfully turned it into...
You're being nitpicky now.
Oh, my God.
How
do you write a billion of these? I thought there was some thought.
Put that on the counter.
Is that not me to a T? Grammatically incorrect but thoughtful?
And we're celebrating the thank you.
You got to hold on to it. You got to hold on to it for a little bit. You just can't throw stuff away right away.
All right, well, that's on me.
I felt like it was a sign because I couldn't possibly throw our babysitter's thank you away, who's going to be returning to the house shortly after.
Do you place them anywhere?
On the counter, by the coffee maker. It's kind of a little drop zone area.
You're stuck with her. You definitely got to leave that for a little bit.
Yeah.
Since he sees other ones.
Golly, man. Now I'm scared to ship off the rest of these thank you notes.
Better go review it. Spell check.
No, I'm going to have to undo the envelopes.
You scribble something out on mine, too.
Yeah.
He scribbled something out on Brian's, too. Brian D was our producer, and he scribbled a bunch out.
Corey, hang on the line there. We'll get to you. We know you're a part of KBN Nation and are going to have some great thoughts on the Packers-Bears. During the break, they're going to give me crap about my thank you notes. But Jim, Matt, and Molly are next in Madison, the damn sports show in Beaver Dam. But we, Kyle, Brust, Nortman, continue on YouTube at ESPN Milwaukee, 94.5 ESPN, the ESPN Wisconsin app. We will see you in 2 minutes.
We've got some delays westbound 94 from just before 27th Street all the way past Mitchell Boulevard. On the eastbound side, slowing down from 84th Street to about Hawley Road. We've also got delays on southbound 894 from about Howard Avenue down through the Hale all the way past Forest Home. And then some more delays southbound on 43 as you're making your way through the Marquette interchange onto the high-rise bridge. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast tonight, mixed precipitation to the north, so a chance of rain also. A low of 32. Tomorrow, morning rain, mostly cloudy, a high of 40. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
Monica, we've got to hand it to you.
You and the design team have outdone yourselves.
Are you talking about the One collection?
Those rings say you are the one.
And they say it symbolically.
Describe the symbols.
Every ring in the One collection should be presented with a special ritual.
What would that ritual be?
You pick up her left hand and you place a kiss on her ring finger.
Rick, you never told me about that part.
Then you show her the tiny red diamond, flush mounted inside the ring, that will forever be in contact with her finger.
Why is it red?
Because that's when the giver says to the one, wherever you go, my heart goes with you.
I give you this kiss. I give you my heart.
The red diamond is a secret symbol of that sacred moment.
The center diamond on the outside of the ring is for the whole world to see.
But the tiny red created diamond inside the ring is only for the two of them.
The One collection of engagement rings is available exclusively at Kessler's.
To find the Kessler's nearest you,
visit KesslersDiamonds.com.
Pain has a way of stealing the moments that matter most, especially during the holidays. It's not just your knees, your back, or your shoulders. It's time with family and friends. But in 2026, that all could change when your body remembers how to heal. It just needs a little help finding the way back. Dr. Ashley Caravelli and her team at QC Kinetics here in Milwaukee believe relief doesn't just come from surgery or pain pills. They use your body's own natural healing abilities to repair and restore what's been lost. It's your body's comeback story, powered by the very cells that built you in the first place. No surgery, no pain pills, no long recovery, just your body remembering how to feel alive again. QC Kinetics delivers that long-term relief that you're finally looking for. Make the new year your turning point where pain stops defining you. It's time to take that first step. Literally, time to walk, enjoy the holidays, live without pain, and live without hesitation. With QC Kinetics, healing is within reach. Schedule your free consultation today at QC Kinetics. Give them a call at 414-240-2298. That's 414-240-2298. 414-240-2298.
Hey, this is Homer. You're listening to the home of Marquette basketball. 94.5 ESPN is WKTI and WKTI HD Milwaukee.
A locally owned Good Karma brand station. Broadcasting live from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All studio at the Avenue in downtown Milwaukee. This is Kyle Brust and Nortman, KBN on 94.5 ESPN, the ESPN Wisconsin app, and streaming live at ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube. The 414 Hour on KBN is brought to you by Siding Unlimited. Siding Unlimited is Wisconsin's leader in Pella window installation. Looking for new windows, siding, roof, and doors? Visit them at sidingunlimited.com.
It's the 414 Hour at 4 on KBN.
James the Postman chimes in, who's hopefully delivering the thank you notes that I will be putting in the mail. With all that scribbling out on your thank you notes, maybe use a pencil next time, Ben. You can't use a pencil.
When's the last time you wrote anything in pencil?
I couldn't tell you.
We don't know.
We do have a sales manager that has a pencil with a pencil sharpener in his office.
Really?
Yes.
Huh.
I always hear it, and
yeah.
I'm like, it's fascinating.
Classic.
The smell of pencil shavings.
Been a while.
Good smell.
Top 10. Top 10 smell.
Really good smell, right?
Top 10 smell.
You
Yeah,
know,
I don't think
gasoline.
I was gonna say it's not the level of gasoline.
Gasoline's wonderful.
What else is
Do kids still use pencils? in
Crisp
school?
leaves. Like in the fall.
Okay. I think that's.
I think Kyle's
grass
question
clippings.
is
Grass
kind of where I'm
clippings.
at. I have no idea.
Because
Like,
I know
we used to have to do our Scantron test with number 2 pencils.
Oh yeah.
Do
Well, I
they
bet-
just
I bet
take
those
tests
still
online with iPads?
Why can Scantron readers only detect number 2 pencils?
Sounds like a hear Brad out.
I used to try
It seems strange. What is it? What is in the lead? And what does number 2 stand for? Where's number 1 pencils? Why are number 3? Why stop at 2? Might as well go to 3.
The lead's in the water. here in
How many
Milwaukee,
types
say
of
that.
lead are there? And this is lead we're talking about. Lead can be poisonous. And we're
all
exposing
right.
our young kids to this.
All right.
Oh, wow.
Throw it up the flagpole.
Brad, you're smarter than that. Pencils are graphite now.
Let's go to Corey in Chicago, 800-990-3776. It's Kyle, Brust Nortman across 94.5 ESPN, YouTube at ESPN Milwaukee, and the ESPN Wisconsin app. Corey, welcome into KBN on the Carlos Talking Text line.
Hey, Happy New Year to y'all. How y'all feeling?
Happy New Year.
Yeah, man. Well, like I was telling Stroke, man, I think these Bears team remind me of the 2010 Atlanta Falcons. When we lost to the Falcons in 2010 in that regular season game, I said to myself, we need to get another shot at them because I believe that team is very fraudulent. Like, they was average on defense, okay offense. It's just nothing spectacular. But the point I'm trying to say is I believe the Packers going to beat the Bears by 2 scores.
2 scores.
2 scores.
Boat race.
An early call your shot from Corey in Chicago at Monday at 4:04 p.m. 2 tutties.
I love that
level of
confidence.
confidence right there.
I love that confidence, but I get where Packers fans are coming from for this, simply because the first game against the Bears, you were up by a lot, and the Bears were able to control the second half, running the ball quite a bit, but your quarterback was able to strike really fast to make sure you won that game. The second game against the Bears, you were up in that game, and then you just blew it. So I get getting Jordan Love back instills quite a bit of confidence in a lot of Packers fans to believe that the Packers will be able to run away with this game on Saturday. I see where that energy is coming from.
Well, we had Jason Wilde on around 3:30. If you missed any of our show, go back and listen YouTube or the ESPN Wisconsin app. And he did mention that he believed that Ben Johnson was taking a shot at Matt LaFleur post-game. I didn't
Why you
feel
say
that.
it was such a question mark? You believe if Jason said it, and Jason.
Well, Jason said, I don't believe it to be the case.
No.
I love the drama, but I don't know. After the game, thinking about the Packers, a little weird,
He
but I
already
guess
talked-
that's what they do.
Did it in the opening press conference.
No, but he did. But in that part, he mentioned how we have a game to prepare for Saturday. So he was thinking about the Packers.
We're gonna play. I was setting up to play the part, Kyle. Very good. Very good.
We're quickly turning the page here. Everyone's disappointed. I appreciate, like I said, their effort. Some teams, they rest their starters. We don't. We play football, and, we felt like it was really important that we were playing our best ball here today, and we didn't get that job done. And so we're quickly turning that page, and now we got a home game coming on up, and there's a way to win this next game, and that's what we're going to be solely focused on.
Like such a tool.
He does.
Like he's
Some
better
teams-
than everybody.
Yeah, some teams, he does take unnecessary shots. And I'm trying to figure out why. He hasn't done anything as a head coach. Okay, yes, he won the division his first year. Fairly impressive. But in the grand scheme of things, he's in his first year as a head coach. Why continue to make enemies and take shots? Because you could either take this as a Philadelphia Eagles fan or organization, or the Green Bay Packers of belittling them, saying, you know what, you are a lesser organization.
We play football.
We play football here, don't you know? We play football in the NFL. So he just does this. He's like the guy in your school who just constantly says.
They also,
you're just
point,
why
Matthew,
say that?
They also had something to play for. I know the Eagles sat the majority of their players, but if they won, they were guaranteed to have the number 2 seed.
And I think it's interesting when someone like Jason comes on, who is a big J journalist and who is in this world. He knows Matt LaFleur, the coaching staff, the team way better than we do. So when we posed the question, do you think it was a shot? And he emphatically said, yes, I do think it was a shot at Matt LaFleur. It just...
After a loss, too. It's just like a spiral. Like, you lost the game, and you're already now looking ahead, using this as motivation to show how tough you are when you proved nothing. You didn't win, and you put some more tread on those tires for your team, but we play football, and that's what we're about.
I think his identity as a coach, he learned, and again, guy played Division I football. And I believe going to the Lions and finding that much success, because the Lions fired their offensive coordinator and he assumed the role and he found a lot of success, and he was under a coach like Dan Campbell that was super aggressive. And I think he's just someone who believes in, I need to say all the things that I want to be positive, and I want it to exude onto my players. So I want to exude this level of confidence of saying, hey, we did this, we did that. I believe, I just think he's a very confident individual that believes he has to speak things into existence. And I think when he says things like this and talking about, no, we're going to focus on a very winnable game, which, good, that's what coaches should do. That's coach speak. I do truly believe that he is setting his mind frame of, this is how I have to think in order to be successful. I do think he's a little tooly and douchey, and probably not the best to be around when it comes to coaching, but overall, well, they worked.
That all being said,
it worked for them. They ended up winning 11 games.
That all being said, heading into this game, I know you guys have disagreed with me before the show, but I feel like you guys have made arguments for me during the show. The pressure is more on the Packers than the Bears. Like the Packers, as you said, like the window of opportunity, and love LaFleur in this big game. The Bears have already overachieved what they thought, and we looked back with Jason Wilde, which I thought was interesting, on 2023, the house money comment after beating the Cowboys, in which not a lot of people expected it to be like that. That's kind of the vibe I would give to the Bears from a first year with Love and Johnson, or Williams and Johnson, where they're probably more in the house money phase because they won the division after winning 4 games. Whereas the Packers, this is the 3rd straight year of being a 7 seed. That's why the pressure's on the Packers, because they cannot lose this game with how bad they have played moving into the playoffs. I guess if I'm wrong, I will take the heat, but 800-990-3776, who is the pressure on most, the Packers or the Bears?
I think that if you zoom out and look at the grand scheme of things, I can see how there's more pressure on the Packers, right? Because you're expecting them to have higher expectations, make deeper playoff runs. And you could say the Bears are ahead of schedule when it comes to rebuilding their organization. But when it comes to this game specifically and this season in general, the Packers can effectively undo a division championship and all the success that the Chicago Bears have had by going in there and beating them. I think if the Packers lose on Saturday night, you just chalk it up to saying, you know what? This year was out of whack. We lost Jordan Love for several games. We lost Micah Parsons for several games.
It's 2 years of excuses. Jordan Love being injured, not beating great teams. The injury bug got us. We weren't able to overcome it. That's kind of a soft mentality.
Yeah, you're right. I just think that
right away, I'm seeing a lot that are agreeing with me, which was why I was shocked that you guys were more on the pressures on the Bears.
I think their whole season, the Bears' entire season, can come undone with losing to the Packers at home in the playoffs. It makes the 11 wins. It makes the division title. It makes it mean nothing. It goes back to 2018.
But it doesn't for a franchise that hasn't been to the playoffs since 2018. We got to think about it outside of the Packers' brain. We're talking about a team with elevated expectations versus a team that had virtually, they were 4th in odds to win the NFC North.
The Bears losing would deliver a message. It's the same old Bears. Packers are still the team that to beat in the NFC
Is it the same old Bears, though?
Bro, they were
we'll see.
They won double-digit games this year, and the Packers didn't.
I think what we have to understand, Ben, you said it yourself. You said the Bears did what this year? They overachieved. We can't,
which is why there's no pressure.
But there is a sense of pressure because you overachieve, but you have to show a level of consistency. One thing the Packers have shown throughout the last 3 seasons is that they're reliably consistent. Now, have they risen to the level of success that we wanted them to? Absolutely not even close. But what we understand is from this game from the Packers, win or lose, which again, I fully expect them to win, I'm not going to go into next season being like, oh man, the Packers can't win the NFC North. Oh man, the Packers are chasing the Bears. The Packers legitimately outplayed the Bears in both of the games that they played against them. So I'm not going to be concerned about what type of implications Saturday will have on next season. But when you look at the Bears, there is a lot of pressure because, again, as I said before, when you are 2-4 in your division and you end up winning the division, you still feel in the back of your head, there is some fraudulent characteristics that we have. You couldn't beat the big bad Lions this year. You barely beat the Packers
They
this
still
year,
won the division, and they're the number 2 seed.
And they're 2-4
after
in the
winning
division.
4 games.
That has to be one of the worst records in a division to come out to being the NFC North champion or any division champion, only winning 2 games inside of your division. And so all I'm saying is
still won enough games of other teams in the NFC to be the 2 seed.
That is cool, but we can't talk about the Packers being 1-5 last year and saying they're fraudulent, can't beat good teams, and sit here and say we're going to be super concerned about an overachieving team that went 2-4 in this division. So again, I believe the Bears are a good team this year, but what I'm saying is that there is so much pressure on them because a loss
Put on the poll. Who's
Saturday,
under more pressure?
A loss on Saturday shows to the Chicago Bears that they were fraudulent. It shows that
that's my take.
This shows that this season might have been an anomaly, right? Because then next year they got to go in and they have to back it up. And you know what changes next year? It's going from having the 4th place schedule in your division to going against the 1st place schedule in your division. That means it's going to be tougher matches for you next year. And so again, the Bears did a very good job winning 11 games, and they're going to get 100% credit for that. I give that to Ben Johnson, Caleb Williams, that defense for forcing turnovers. I give them all of that. But at the end of the day, that team was 2-4 in a division that had every team finished over 500, and the best they can do is 2-4. So that just shows you that there could be some fraudulentness to that. And if you lose to the Packers on that, guess what? You're 2-5 in the division. You go into next season where you have a tougher schedule. So I'm saying there's a lot of pressure on a team that still has something to prove versus a Packers team where we know going into 2026, 2027, guess what? They're still going to be picked as an NFC North favorite in a Super Bowl type team that's going to be top 5 Super Bowl odds.
All right, I want to hear more. We have our thoughts. I'll hear from Strofe on the other side, and I see the YouTube chat is debating, and I see the Carbos talking text line. Who's under more pressure? The Bears or the Packers on Saturday? 800-990-3776 is the Carbos talking text line. We dive even deeper into that with you next.
This is Kyle Brust and Nortman.
Love you.
What?
Love you.
Love you too.
On ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Southbound on 43, we are seeing some backups heading right through the Marquette onto the high-rise bridge. Westbound 94 backing up just before 27th Street all the way past Hawley Road. Eastbound is slowing down from 84th Street to Hawley. And then also on 894 southbound backing up from before Beloit Road down through the Hale interchange out past Forest Home. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast tonight. Mixed precipitation to the north, a chance of rain, a low of 32. Tomorrow, morning rain, then mostly cloudy skies, a high of 40. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
On this show, it's always football season.
So now Jeff Hafley's going to have to get more creative. Everybody will have to bow up and do things. And the main guy is Jordan Love.
Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin.
This went from a defensive-led team to now Jordan Love. Put him on your back. You're going to have to get the cape out.
Weekdays from 9 to noon on 94.5 ESPN, ESPN Milwaukee's YouTube channel, and the ESPN Wisconsin app. Let's get the latest from Lambeau. This is your green and gold fix on 94.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Z-Bart of Greater Milwaukee. Why Z-Bart? Because you don't want rust holes in your expensive vehicle. Let Z-Bart keep the rust away with professional rust protection. Only at Z-Bart.
The Packers closed the regular season with a 16-3 loss to the Vikings while resting most of their starters. Quarterback Clayton Tune was sacked 4 times, and punter Daniel Whelan logged 8 punts for 431 yards, the 5th most in team history. Here's head coach Matt LaFleur after the game.
I think our guys are excited. They're excited for the challenge. They're excited for the opportunity, and that's how we're going to attack it, and that's our mindset, because right now, when you get to the postseason, everybody's 0-0. It's a clean slate, so we have an opportunity, and that's all you can ask for.
The Packers finished the season at 9-7-1 and will now head to Chicago to take on the Bears in the first round of the playoffs.
This has been your green and gold fix on 94.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Z-Bart of Greater Milwaukee.
Do you want your car to shine like a diamond? Then you need Z-Gloss from Z-Bart. Z-Gloss gives you a mirror finish and protects your paint from everything Mother Nature can throw at it with a 10-year guarantee. Visit zbart.com for more information.
If only life had a remote control, you could pause or rewind. Well, life doesn't always give you time to change the outcome, but prediabetes does. Take the 1-minute risk test today at doihaveprediabetes.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and its prediabetes awareness partners.
This is Kyle Brust Nortman on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Ben Brust, Kyle Wallace, Bradley Nortman with Strofe running the show. It's up on YouTube at ESPN Milwaukee. I believe it's up on Twitter at KBN ESPN. On YouTube, the poll reads, who's under more pressure to win Sunday? 77% of the people say Packers. As the camp I am in, Brad and Kyle are of the camp that the Bears are under more pressure. So as I go to KBN ESPN to see the early voting, boom, bang, bop, little bit different. 62% say the Bears, 38% say the Packers. So I think it's interesting that we have 2 points of reference for the rest of the show here as to who's under more pressure, the Packers or the Bears. 800-990-3776.
I just think, whoa. When you look at the Bears team, the narrative is their record is better than the team they actually are. They have 6 comeback victories, most in the NFL, most of it due to kind of pull it out of your behind type magic, and they are relying on turnovers, things that you can't really rely on, and things that good teams
pull it out
don't
of the
do.
behind.
Pull it out of your behind, trying to put it in a nice little pleasant way. But those type of things, you're relying on chaos, you're relying on magic, you're relying on other teams to make mistakes. Those are not reflective of an 11-win season and a 2 seed. Most of the time, when you're the 2 seed, you are an intimidating, I don't want that matchup type of team. There's no doubt that they're improved from last year, and the Bears are good. I'd put them as good, but they are fraudulent for what their record says they are for their playoff seed. For that reason, a home playoff game, they have no excuse because they should be the favorite, but Vegas says everything we need to know. That's a pretty even game. So to me, more pressure is on the Bears. You lose this game, I think it calls into the question the success of the season and the direction going forward.
Imagine that, a game where it's a toss-up game, basically, according to Vegas, where a 7 seed is going on the road to play against a 2 seed. And they're looking at this as a pick-em type game. And I think a lot of that has to do with the Bears being somewhat fraudulent. But, again, my mentality on this has everything to do with they don't fully know what to expect moving forward. They have so much more to build off this versus the Packers. The Packers can look at this season, and they can build in, and I don't have any excuses, but they can build in, and it sounds like Ed Policy has already built in the excuses talking about overcoming adversity. They can talk about the fact that they lost Micah. They can talk about the fact that they lost our starting center, Elton Jenkins. They can talk about the fact that you lost Devontae White. They, as an organization, can look at it and say, well, we had all these different things. We got to make sure we build more depth, but moving forward, we know how good we can be. We know that for the Packers. The Bears do not know that whatsoever. That's why there is so much pressure on them to continue to prove it throughout the playoffs that they actually are building something and they are legitimate. The Bears have to prove their legitimacy on Saturday.
And real quick, I think there's pressure on the Packers, to your point. I mean, you can't be in year 3 of this LaFleur love thing.
You don't have to middle it. You guys don't have to middle it. No, pick your side and stay there. Pick your side and stay there.
There's pressure on the Packers, but there's more on Chicago.
Yes, sir.
Okay, groupthink for Kyle and Brad.
Yeah,
Dan and Sheboygan on the Carbless Talking text line. Hit us, Dan.
Good afternoon, gentlemen.
Yo.
I think there's zero pressure on the Bears, and it's all on the Packers. Ben Johnson just got there. He didn't draft Caleb Williams. He didn't draft the weapons. They're just trying to see what they have, and they're trying to move forward. This is house money for Chicago times 10. Green Bay, how long has LaFleur been there? He's Love's third year in the postseason. He's got to prove he can at least get to the championship game or the Super Bowl one of these years. He's making a Supermax contract. I mean, there's all the pressures on Green Bay. Green Bay doesn't have any first-round picks next year.
Seed and on the road.
Since when did all of a sudden a 7 seed have all the pressure in the world versus a 2 seed? Like
it's called expectations. It comes with being the Green Bay Packers.
The expectations for the Packers used to be winning a Super Bowl. I myself have pulled those back because I understand that this team is not currently built to compete for a Super Bowl this season. But overall for the Chicago Bears, you play, remember he said, we want to play every game. Like we want to play hard every single game. We're going to play our guys. You play your guys because you're trying to build towards something. There is a lot of pressure on that team. You can't sit here and tell me a 7 seed has more pressure than a 2 seed. That just doesn't make sense. That's nonsensical.
Let's go to RJ in Georgia, down in Georgia. We on the grind in Georgia. You're up on the Carbless Talking text line.
Happy New Year, gentlemen.
Happy
New Year.
Yeah, so I was born and raised a Packer fan, Milwaukee, Wisconsin, and I just recently moved here to Georgia. I followed you guys probably now for 2 or 3 years. I got to say you guys are being pretty contrary, and I think that a lot of the fans listening to you are recognizing the simple fact that you're talking about the Chicago Bears, as much as I hate them, and how you're saying that they're relying on turnovers and magic, when you got to understand the first game we won against them, we barely won that game. It was an interception. We gave away a lot of points toward the end of that game. The second game, of course, was the debacle that it was. We have won a lot of games through magic and luck this season. We've won some games where, yes, Jordan Love and the rest of the team, the defense have played well, but our best 2 games of this season were the first 2 games of the season where they played the best on both sides of the ball. After that, they have been inconsistent. I'm talking about us Packers. We've been inconsistent. Our coaching has continued to make the same mistakes that he's made since he's gotten here as head coach, that you guys aren't talking about as well. So I think we have to be a bit more realistic about what our Packers are and what they are not. And just as realistic about what the Bears are becoming and
RJ,
what they are.
I hear what you're saying, but I agree at this point with the 4-game losing streak. But after the Packers beat the Bears, and you're talking about they ripped off wins against the Giants, Vikings, Lions, and Bears, I feel like the narrative and the confidence around this team, and for everybody talking, was the Packers had a chance to be a legitimate Super Bowl threat. And so I feel like currently the 4 losses and the injuries have kind of changed your mindset and perspective on this team, because I don't think they just only had 2 good wins this year. They had more than that. That second Lions game was impressive.
If anything, I feel like even though they were winning games, we still felt like, man, this team has so much more to go. They haven't put it all together. There's so much more they can accomplish if they put everything together. Never quite did that. For the Bears, it feels like they're always reeling a little bit, right? The defense is just trying to hold on tight to be able to, because they're a bottom third defense, try to hold on for the offense to do something. And in true magic type ways, they had come back and make these wins. You have to give them credit for the comeback wins, but it's not something you can continue to rely on.
I think that was your overall point about this Bears team as we were heading into this game, Brad, is as you look at this matchup on Saturday, how each teams have played in the regular season, what can you replicate more successfully in the playoffs? Because it is way different, as we've seen every sport. The playoffs are always different in the regular season. The margins are thinner. So can you live in the margins the same way the Bears have, and can you live in the margins the same way the Packers have? Which one is going to be more consistent of a product that gives you a better chance to win on Saturday? We'll go to Ron in the Key, who wants to be critical of everyone not named Kyle.
Ron?
Yeah. Hey, new year, new me. Ben, the irony, can't spell irony without R-O-N, the irony of you saying this guy sounds like a tool and thinks he's better than everybody else. And then Brad, you should recuse yourself from the argument of what Ben Johnson hasn't done anything. In your next breath, you literally say he won the division title and they have the number 2 seed. Yeah.
Well, he's still first year coach.
No thanks.
Taking shots.
No thanks. We'll represent ourselves in court. That's not a good nerd, Brad.
Ron, you know what? I think you finally cleaned out those ears and you're hearing who is speaking facts.
Take a shot at him, Ron. Take a shot at him.
No, Ron, I haven't given you anything shot-worthy. Trust me, it's a long week. Give me 24
Ron's
hours.
Pessimistic, so he's on your side because you started the show by saying they could only beat the Panthers and the Bears.
I'm not. I mean, I'm pessimistic about the Packers. I wouldn't be optimistic if I was the Bears either. Neither of these teams are good.
Yeah,
they're both bad teams.
Well, bad is strong.
There's the Ron I know and love. Yeah, Stick to calling people out.
Critical.
Bad versus not winning a Super Bowl is two different. No, the bad teams are picking first, second, and third in the draft. They're just not Super Bowl teams. They're inconsistent.
Oh man, let's go to Josh Kenosha on the Carbless Talking text line. I believe you want to react to the Ben Johnson audio where he's calling out Matt LaFleur. Josh,
yeah, I don't think he's calling out Matt LaFleur specifically, because one, he didn't mention anyone or any team by name, and it's a year in, year out basis where teams rest guys, other teams play. I think he was trying to establish the fact that what he wants to do culture-wise,
the Bears don't sit players.
Our guys are going to play. Yeah. And guys, I love Jason Wilde, but I think he's trying to drum up a story because he likes the drama and he likes the story.
See, that's where I'm going to disagree.
You're not going to take a shot at my guy Jason.
Well, no,
Jason
he can take the shot, but that's just not the truth about Jason. I spent the entire first matchup of the Packers-Bears trying to convince Jason that there was more to this LaFleur Johnson thing, and then he finally came around to it 6 days later.
Yeah, I mean, Jason's the classic Big J journalist who tries to temper expectations and temper hot takes. So for him to say, I do think it was a shot, I wasn't sure going into it. Now I do believe that there was something.
But always remember for the rest of history, Ben Johnson doesn't sit players.
I think what
ever. I think the Bears play football on Sundays.
I feel like Jason, once his mind was finally changed about how Ben Johnson.
We're the Bears. We don't sit
LaFleur.
guys. We build culture.
Man, you're gonna get killed this week.
It is.
What? He sounded like a douche, man. Like he's better than ever. Like dude, you're a first-year guy. I stop acting like this is like you're better than everyone. We've come up with a philosophy. We play football. We don't sit.
It is interesting because like Ben Johnson's competitive advantage, let's say, is his mind, right? So I was looking at his Wikipedia here because you said he, of course, most reliable source, right?
Most reliable source in the world. Well done, Brad.
In Virginia,
I didn't. North Carolina. I didn't realize he played college football.
Yeah.
So and he was a backup, a mathematics and computer science major.
Smart guy.
He's a smart guy.
Yeah.
And he's not like a former NFL player like Dan Campbell or like guys like that are sort of gruff and physical.
I've run the calculations. We're not sitting people.
So that's it seems strange to me that he's trying to play tough guy when he should just play smart guy because he is smart.
A dork.
He is smart.
Be a dork.
And that's the reason why he is good.
Brad, the dude played quarterback in college, and again, though he didn't start at North Carolina, he was a stud in high school growing up.
Come on. Don't say stud in high school.
Great. You can tell those stories to the team.
Division I scholarship.
He was a walk-on.
So were you, Kyle. You were also a stud in high school. It means nothing.
A Division III guy, a guy who was good enough in high school to play D3 versus a guy who was good enough in college, high school to play college football and at the quarterback position at that to be on the roster. Clearly you have a little bit of cockiness to your belief.
Ben Johnson, lover 54672 on Instagram and Twitter.
I think he's a douchebag. Don't get it twisted. I do think that to be true, 100%. But I'm saying I get where it comes from, man. He's an arrogant guy. He has a lot of self-confidence in himself, and that's why on Saturday the Packers are going to have.
You're
to
not so different.
You just pulled a Benny. He has a lot of self-confidence in himself.
Yeah. No, I mean, listen.
He's got a lot of self-confidence in himself.
It's 2026. One thing I'll say about this is y'all need to walk around with confidence in yourself and belief in yourself.
All right, I'm not here for Kyle's
Ben Johnson
TED Talk.
is trash as with all this thoughts, but you better have some confidence.
Are you a big New Year's guy?
No,
you're starting to sound like it.
2026 is a big year for me.
You've said New Year, New Me.
Strofe, you missed the pre-show meeting where Kyle gave us the whole woe is me. We need to stop spending money. We want to have the wedding we want.
I'm just saying. One thing I know about people being around a lot of people this last week, you better walk around with some gang confidence. Better walk around with confidence. Y'all be boo-hooing, worried about yourself. No, when you look in the mirror, you say, damn, I'm fine. Even if you're ugly, damn, I'm fine.
Yeah, but you're in a room and in an environment with other guys that are tough and physical and all the things. So, they can sniff a guy that's not being completely
The media is eating it up in Chicago.
Yeah, because they've been irrelevant.
And that's why I hope the Green Bay Packers destroy them. Again, whether these comments were directed towards them or not, there obviously is something boiling there.
All right, well, coming up next, we're going to hear about a 572-page book that Alex Strofe's reading on the Wheel of Strofe. Can't wait.
This is Kyle Brust Nortman, KBN.
I legitimately understand sugar.
Is it good, Brad?
It's unbelievable. It's so good. I'm changed.
not for the better. Come on. On ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Southbound on 894, backing up from Beloit Road all the way down and around the Hale Interchange past Forest Home. Westbound's got a couple of pockets, heavy traffic right after Loomis. Southbound 43 slowing down right through the Marquette Interchange. We've also got some delays westbound 94 from 27th past Mitchell Boulevard. Eastbound slowing down right past Calhoun heading into the Moreland area. And then back on the brakes from 84th to Hawley Road. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast tonight. Mixed precipitation to the north, chance of rain otherwise, low of 32. And tomorrow morning rain, mostly cloudy with a high of 40. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
An ESPN Radio Extra Point with Chris Canty.
I get it, all the reporting around it. Adam Schefter saying that John Harbaugh leaned safe. Something seems amiss between the relationship of Harbs and Lamar Jackson. And because of that, and the Ravens being in a position where they have to address Lamar's contract in a significant way this offseason, I think that something's got to give. I understand that nobody wants to blame either one of them for the lack of success that they've been able to achieve since 2018. But at some point, you've got to be able to take advantage of a quarterback that's capable of putting together a fourth quarter like we saw in Pittsburgh last night. And there are just too many instances of the Baltimore Ravens having blown double-digit leads this season, but also throughout John Harbaugh's tenure to justify staying the course. Something has to change in order to get a different result. And I think that the head coach, between the two of them, is by far the easier to make a move.
Texting enrolls you into recurring automated text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
Man, I love seeing the old gang at these reunions. Did you see Brian? He's in better shape than he was 25 years ago. How is that even possible? Yep, I ran into him a few weeks ago and had to ask. He told me he started taking Nugenix Total T2. The testosterone booster? Yeah, but it's way more than that now. It also skyrockets your nitric oxide in as little as 3 hours. I started taking it right away, and I'm already seeing results. I was wondering what you were doing. You seriously crushed me in that pickup game last week. Yep, after 40, energy, strength, drive, it all starts going downhill. But with T2, I feel like my old self again. Stronger, leaner, and my energy is way up. My wife even noticed a difference. They're giving out complimentary bottles right now. Just send them a text.
Text ROCK to 321-321 for your complimentary bottle of new Nugenix Total T2. Text now and you'll also get a free bottle of Nugenix Thermo X, our most powerful fat incinerator. That's ROCK to 321-321.
These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. Product not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
It doesn't get any headlines just to be silently good. Big Fish Contracting, we say renovating homes, redeeming an industry.
It's so much more than just, okay, we're replacing your roof.
We're not only educating homeowners, but we're getting to know them and allowing them an opportunity to get to know us. And there's just such beauty in it, you know? If anyone is considering reaching out to us,
or you can check us out on our website, bigfishcontracting.com.
Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
They treated me like family.
They're actually people that you can depend on.
They made me feel seen. They really treated me like I was a part of their family, a part of their team.
They ask how you're doing, how you're feeling.
They're just so welcoming and so sweet and kind.
It's like family. Caring about another member of the family.
If you've been injured, it costs you nothing to see if Gruber Law Offices can help.
This is Kyle Brust Nortman, KBN, on ESPN Wisconsin, ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube, and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Let's get to it. Ben Brust, Kyle Wallace, and Brad Nortman with Strofe running the show. We're here till 5 o'clock leading into the Homer Hour. Time now to hear from Alex Strofe. He's been reading his book all show long. It's time for the Wheel of Strofe.
It's time for the
Wheel of Strofe.
Another year, another day, another buckaroonie. And new year, new me, fellas.
A little stuffed up.
Yeah, I either got allergies going on or I'm getting sick, and I hope it's definitely the former.
Oh, my. If you get sick after taking 8 weeks off, I will be livid.
I think, can you get allergies in January?
That's what I was gonna say. I don't think
Allergies?
there's like pollen in the
Well,
air.
I said that to Josh, and Josh is like, no, you definitely can. Because I don't feel bad. It's just I feel really stuffed up.
Everybody, y'all love talking about allergies. Allergies. That's my allergies. No, you sick, bro. You have a virus.
I hope not.
But allergies are real.
Every dang month?
Are you texting right now?
He's voice questioning his phone for information. Can you get allergies in December and January?
Well, I don't think it's impossible. It is warm out
Yes,
there.
there's winter allergies. Indoor pets, mold,
Oh,
pests. Either we got pests back
Where are you
there.
living?
Yeah,
I think I have mold, and my dog doesn't shed. So.
Dust mites.
So sounds like you're
Dust
sick.
mites.
Yeah,
Great.
You're probably sick, bro.
Right.
All right, see you on Friday, or you'll. No,
You'll see me tomorrow. You'll see me tomorrow. Although no Mr. Irrelevant tomorrow, so maybe not. All right, I'm gonna make New Year, new me. I'm gonna make a
Rest
goal.
up, kid.
Every Wheel of Strofe is gonna be better than the day before every week.
Wow.
Talk about setting yourself up for failure.
Wheel of Stroke.
I thought you were supposed to make attainable.
You got to start really, really, really bad.
Oh, Red would have been so just.
Remember when we used to fill out the Wheel of Stroke?
Yeah, you got
Yeah.
Then we lost
Days
the
are long gone.
eraser. Yeah, it's all a mess. All right, Blue today is about specifically a team, but I want to ask this question. The NFL playoff bracket is set. It has been an absolutely chaotic year in the National Football League. So I want to know, fellas, your Super Bowl winner, is it one of the 8 division winners? So in the AFC, Broncos, Patriots, Jags, Steelers. Shout out Brad, Jags. NFC, Seahawks, Bears, Eagles, Panthers. Or is it a wild card team? Texans, Bills, Chargers, Rams, Niners, Packers. Feels like anybody could win it. So you like in 8, you take in the 8 division winners of the field.
Give me the division winners, baby. Oh, wait.
I want the field.
I think the division winners. The only teams I think could sniff it are the Rams and.
Of course, Kyle picked against the Packers because he doesn't believe in this team at all.
Well, you said you don't believe you can then win the Super Bowl.
We're not winning the Super Bowl. We're not, unfortunately. We don't have enough horse. We're not healthy.
Not the Packer backer that I once knew.
It's such a hard route. What are the stats I always pull up? A 1 and 2 seed win or play in the Super Bowl 74% of the time.
This is a year
unlike
of
any
this
other.
is the 26%
Like, we were talking in
and
a
that's just
commercial
1
break.
and 2 seeds.
Yeah, the impetus for me asking this is the idea of Josh Allen and the Bills.
So let me just read you this.
And Stafford.
The top 6 in MVP odds, 3 are wild card, 3 are division winners. The Rams, the Eagles, and the Bills. The Patriots, the Broncos, and the Seahawks. It's not in order, but those are the 3 division winners and the 3 wild card teams that are in the top 6 odds to win the Super Bowl.
Wait, hold on. I'm
Give me the
confused.
division winner.
I think you screwed that up, but
No, the Bills, the Eagles are a division winner.
Yeah.
So it'd be the Rams who are second in odds.
They're a wild card.
Bills at plus 1,000,
Wild card.
5th in odds, and then no, that's it.
Wow,
so you
the
basically,
Rams are still
basically,
second
if
in
you get a
odds?
Bills Rams, you're guaranteed from a wild card
I
standpoint.
think that could be the Super Bowl, and they're both wild cards.
That'd be a good
I know.
Super Bowl.
It'd be a
too.
great Super
That'd be a
Bowl.
really good Super
The
Bowl.
problem for both those teams is that they've shown you that they have their moments.
Yeah.
But who else doesn't have their
everybody
moments?
has.
The Seahawks lead the league in giveaways, as somebody
The
said.
Seahawks have 14 wins, don't they?
Yeah.
The Broncos have 14 wins. The Patriots have
Broncos have been
14
good.
wins. Like, these teams win. They
Sure.
win.
They're complete. They're more complete team.
Yeah.
Sure, but it's like nobody's
just-
looking this year. Okay, I'd love you to look at the playoff picture
Why
of
are we
last
writing
year.
off Jacksonville? Jacksonville is
Yeah.
good. Trevor Lawrence has played some of the best football the last 8-9 weeks of the season. Like, don't count out
Fine.
Jags.
Jacksonville, baby. Kyle's got the Jacksonville Jaguars winning the Super Bowl with Liam Cohen, first-year head coach over Matt LaFleur and Jordan Love.
If the Jacksonville Jaguars win the Super Bowl, I'll shave my head for the next year.
You
Yeah, you
won't
bet
do
you
it.
will.
You wouldn't do it. I don't know why.
I'll shake on that right now. The Jacksonville Jaguars aren't winning the Super Bowl.
You don't know that.
Yes, I do.
They're killing teams right
It's a
now.
first
There's
team.
Yeah,
no
because-
hotter team in football than the Jacksonville Jaguars.
I didn't believe
Why are we
No
doing?
hotter team.
Why are we
I think the
doing?
Seahawks have won like
why are
9
we
in a
doing
row.
proclamations about this year?
No hotter team.
This is the hypocrisy of you guys all year long.
boy.
All
Here we
year
go.
no, all year long.
we
All I
go.
heard from Kyle was, "Oh, it's wide open everywhere.
Bro,
AFC, NFC."
it is
and
open,
now
bro.
you're saying, "Dude, I'm scared of the Seahawks. I'm scared of the Patriots. Scared of this team, that team."
Do you know what my team looked like in Denver? I was down there still cheering on Micah Parsons. I still had Zach Thomas.
It's not just about your team.
What do you mean?
So it was about your team when your team could do
matters.
it. Now that your team can't do it, it's, everyone's great. You're doing this thing to yourself psychologically. Make yourself feel better.
Dude, there's 4 divisions. There's 8 teams. You just asked me, you going to take these 8 teams or those 8 teams?
I'm not talking about that question anymore. I'm talking about the way you've been talking about these teams in the question. Oh, man, the Seahawks, they won 14 games. They're untouchable. Dude, the Lions won 15 games and lost last year.
I'm saying the Green Bay Packers are going to struggle with them without having a defensive tackle in Devontae Wyatt, who, yes, now that we know.
5 of the 6 wild card matchups have a line of less than 5 points. The biggest line of 5 of the 6 matchups is 4.5 points.
I also just am fascinated by this whole year being it's so wide open to now he's scared of teams because the Packers aren't good, so he's doing that to make himself feel better about the Packers.
The wild card route is very hard. It's so very hard to go on the road 3 straight games and win the Super Bowl.
Stroke quit on his team when Tucker Kraft got hurt weeks ago.
He's doing the thing again.
No, I'm not doing the thing. No, I'm not projecting. I'm just saying.
Yes, you are. You're deflecting and projecting.
So wait a minute. So
you haven't stood on business that you've stood on all year. Now that the Packers aren't good, you're like, look at how great everyone else is.
When our best 2 defensive linemen are out hurt.
No, it's not about the Packers anymore.
What do you mean?
You've said all season long it's as open as it's ever been, and now you're closing the doors, being scared of Seattle.
I just gave you like 4 or 5 teams that I had a chance to win. What are we talking about closing the door? That means
Seattle. They've won 14 games. I'm so scared.
Seattle, the Rams, they're all good teams. What are we talking about?
All year long, the Rams were frauds to you, and now the Packers aren't in it. The Rams are good. You're the most hypocritical person I've ever talked to.
I said they got to prove something to me before. If the Packers were healthy, I would be singing a different tune right now.
They've actually played their worst football at the end of the year, and now you're saying the Rams are good. That's the fascinating part. I'm done with this. I'm done with the wheel of Strofe. I'm done. I want Brian Balaga next. You're such a hypocrite.
Oh, hush.
You're listening to Kyle Brust and Nortman, KBN.
And you're disrupting my flow.
No, your flow.
Dang nabbit.
Dang nabbit, I had a good flow.
Gee golly willikers.
On ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app. All the antics.
Why the hell are we still doing encores? I go to the Killers, and they leave the stage. Oh, thank you, good night. Oh, I can't believe they didn't play Mr. Brightside.
All the action.
Losing somebody like Micah Parsons, everybody on the defense was better because of Micah Parsons, and you lose a guy like that, it's hard to stomach.
The best of both worlds lives right here. Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. Weekday mornings from 7 to 9 on 94.5 ESPN, the ESPN Wisconsin app, and ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube. It's time for the Marquette Minute on 94.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Wintrust, Wisconsin's bank, the official banking partner of Marquette University, and home to Marquette Checking with free ATMs nationwide.
Marquette couldn't keep pace with 4th-ranked UConn, falling 73-57 on Sunday afternoon. The Golden Eagles entered the game still searching for their first Big East win and kept things competitive early, trailing 37-28 at halftime. But UConn would take control early in the second half as the Huskies pushed the lead to 23 and didn't let up. Freshman Nigel James Jr. led Marquette with 15 points, and Ben Gold recorded 11 rebounds. Here's head coach Shaka Smart after the game.
We, missed a lot of layups. We missed some free throws. We didn't shoot the ball well from 3, but there was a better rhythm. I thought in the second half it was too much stopping after one action, and UConn did a good job defending us.
The Golden Eagles will look to get back in the win column at home against Xavier on Wednesday. I'm Will Summers.
This has been the Marquette Minute on 94.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Wintrust, Wisconsin's bank, the official bank of Marquette University.
Can you feel it? It's the thrill of witnessing a walk-off grand slam, a game-winning touchdown, a buzzer-beating 3. Yeah, you know the feeling. And there's only one place to experience that raw exhilaration. Potawatomi Sportsbook. Catch all the action in a supreme space with dozens of sports betting kiosks, cool drinks, luxe seating, great food, fiery atmosphere, and a monster video wall. Become a legend at Potawatomi Sportsbook. More info online. Must be 21 to enter casino.
Without an Advent clinic nearby, people suffering needlessly from chronic nasal congestion and sinus infections would be stuck with either Band-Aid or sledgehammer solutions. Band-Aids are pills or nasal sprays, and they're not true solutions. Surgery is a sledgehammer, and that's what we're trying to avoid. Because most people don't need surgery for nose and sinus issues, nor do they want a 14-day recovery. Our unique Advent approach can, in 20 minutes in our office, open your blocked nose for good, with only 1-day recovery. I'm Advent founder Dr. Kandula. Outside of Advent's 4 walls, invasive surgery is what they'll recommend. But here you will find effective and convenient in-office solutions to help you stop the need for Band-Aids and avoid the sledgehammer.
Go to adventknows.com to schedule your appointment, because Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better. Most insurance accepted.
We love the Packers. We bleed green and gold. And every time our team takes the field, well, it's pure football bliss. If only there was a way to experience that blissful winning feeling every day. At Associated Bank, we've got you with 10% off Lambeau concessions and 15% off Pro Shop merch. All when you get Packers checking from Associated Bank. It's how Packers fans keep winning on game day and every day. Associated Bank, Bank of the Packers. Learn more at associatedbank.com/Packers. Member FDIC.
Something exciting is happening at St. Kate the Arts Hotel. On the second floor, you'll find the Studio Kitchen and Cocktails, Milwaukee's destination for bold flavors, fresh sushi, seasonal entrees, and cocktails crafted with care. Start your day with a breakfast that fuels you, stop in for dinner that sparks conversation, or linger late into the evening with drinks designed to inspire. With flavors and drinks for every mood, the Studio is the perfect place to gather, celebrate, and connect. Be boldly social. The Studio Kitchen and Cocktails, now on the second floor at St. Kate the Arts Hotel.
You're listening to Kyle Brust and Nortman, KBN, on ESPN Wisconsin, ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube, and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Joining us on Kyle Brust and Nortman before the Brian Balaga Homer Hour is the aforementioned Brian Balaga, Super Bowl champ. Brian, hope you had a great holiday, New Year, and all the likes. How are you?
I'm good. How did you guys make out? Good holidays, everything?
Yeah, I didn't see these guys much, but good to have them all back together.
I was down on your
Excellent.
side of the earth, I guess, or side of the country.
It was fantastic. It was good.
No, I was down there. It was a little bit cold for a couple of days there when I was there. I was really upset about that.
Oh, you were down here. Where were we at?
Fort Myers.
Yeah, it was chilly for a little bit.
Yeah,
there's no doubt.
Couldn't get in the pool.
Yeah. Could have heated it.
Oh, big money.
Yeah, Brian, not Kyle. Kyle, he brought like $3 to Vegas. That's not how he rolls. So I thought Brad brought an interesting point up, and in your career, you could probably help with this conversation if you had a season where you sat some starters. But Brad had said in his time with the Panthers in 2013 when they rested, they weren't as experienced and mature, and then they came out flat. In 2015, they were more mature and more experienced, and they throttled the team after sitting in their what was week 17. Do you have any stories or correlation to his overall point for this week heading into the wildcard game?
Well, I mean, I think the one that sticks out is 2011. We sat a lot of guys to play Detroit in that final week, right? And then we got 2 weeks off, and we played the Giants, and the Giants beat us at home, and they went on to win the Super Bowl. And that's really the last time I remember that happening, because every other time we were going into the playoffs, we were either battling for the 2 or we were battling for a certain position, in the NFC. And I always thought, for me in 2011, I got rolled into in Kansas City. I had surgery that offseason on my left knee, but I aggravated that knee, so I didn't play against Detroit. But a lot of non-starters did play against Detroit in that final week. That was the week that Matt Flynn went off. He threw for like 450 yards and 6 touchdowns and everything like that. It was a great game. But listen, I'm not a mind reader. I don't talk to Coach McCarthy about this, but I'd imagine potentially he probably would have played more guys in that last week, just so, playing is a little bit more fresh on their mind and on their body, right? Because, you have the bye week and you're going to go into a divisional round against a team that is confident and hot and they're playing. So there's something to be said about playing and doing that. But, when you have injuries, guys that are injured, I see no issue with resting guys and things like that. But being mature and having a mature team and guys understanding when to turn it on and turn it off and things like that does play a major factor into these things as well.
Are they mature enough?
Every single guy that sat?
No, as a team.
As a team?
For the game?
I don't know, and that's a great question. I mean, our last body work that we have to judge them off and how they came out was against Baltimore, really, right? And
yuck.
With everything on the line, that was kind of the way it went. I mean, the guys in the locker room even said, what happened. They were very blunt and honest about it, right? Like if we came out, we didn't do this, and we got our blank kicked. So like, you got to look at hopefully over these last few weeks and now this week too, that week prepping for Minnesota, that guys kind of got their mind right, knowing that, hey, we're not going to play. We got to do everything we can to make sure that when we get into this first playoff week that we're locked in, ready to go. And there's no bye week or off week, technically, hangover going into Chicago, because you just can't have those types of things in the playoffs. We kind of saw what happened against Philly last year. I mean, that was a flat performance by all standards. I don't think I'm misspeaking on that. And you just don't want to have a repeat of that going into Chicago.
Brian, I never had to face a team a third time throughout, twice in the regular season and then in the playoffs. But I believe, if my history is correct, obviously you and the Packers did that in 2010, playing the Bears twice and then in the postseason, and also the Vikings in 2012, facing the Vikings and the Vikings in the playoffs. So tell me, what are the unique challenges for a team facing one another a third time, and who do you think has the edge in that this weekend, Packers or the Bears, particularly with a third time facing one another?
Yeah, I mean, I think tendencies and things like that are you have those dialed in pretty good based on the previous matchups, and you've already gone through 2 cycles, so you've thrown new material out there, right? Like all the new material has been thrown out there, and they've seen almost everything. So tendencies and things like that, each other's tendencies really well. Your individual matchups, these guys really well. That's the benefit of playing a team, and I guess you could say the negative of playing a team 3 times is that each other so well. I think for me, looking at this matchup, and I've been getting a lot of heat because I didn't necessarily agree with sitting everybody in this last week. I didn't agree with it all. I mean, I get certain guys like Jacobs and Watson and Love and Zach Tom. Like, yes, you don't play those guys, but almost every single starter didn't play. And to me, I guess I would have gone in a different direction, but I don't get paid to be a head coach, right? Like that's not my gig. But I still look at the edge in this matchup because I think Green Bay has played them really well, right? Even in the second matchup, in the last 5 minutes of the game is where Green Bay kind of fell apart in this one, right? I mean, you look at it, and even with Jordan Love getting knocked out of the game early, Willis came in and he played phenomenal, and they played well, and they had the advantage all game. So, like, I look at Green Bay having the edge. I think that they match up really well against Chicago. I just do. I think they match up well. I think the personnel matches up well, and I think it's from a psychological standpoint, Green Bay has the edge as well. Now, the thing that will separate this, in my opinion, and this is why I'm kind of on the side of playing some guys in that final game. I don't care if it was a quarter. I don't care if it was 2 quarters. Or a series. It doesn't matter. It's just to kick off rust before you go into a playoff week in a playoff game, because the intensity, the meaning of each play is amplified so much more than the regular season. So for you to take that time off and then go do it, you can't. There's not a quarter to kind of like, okay, let's build into this thing slowly. Like there's not really time for that. You have to be ready to go right out the gate. So that's the one thing that Green Bay has to be ready to go, because Chicago played, right? They played all their guys, and it was a tight game. It was a fun game to watch against Detroit. It was a physical game. So for them, they're not going to be lacking any like physicality or things like that in the game. They're not going to be surprised by that. It's not like they're going to be shell shocked. They're going to try to be the aggressors, thinking, hey, these guys all had a week off. Let's go try to surprise them and jump on them early and see if we can take them out of this early. And Green Bay has to be able to respond to that immediately. There's no slow starts. Slow starts do not get it done in the playoffs. They just don't. You have to be able to match like for like and start hot, especially on the road. You have to be able to match the home team's intensity.
Brian, going on top of that as well, I'm also concerned about this 4-game losing streak. Where do the Packers find a way to get a rhythm going? Because they just haven't played good football. They haven't won a game in almost a month, and now you're talking about the fact that they're resting their guys. Where does this rhythm going to come from?
Well, yeah, and that's kind of where I kind of started this thing at, right? You were on a 3-game skid before you got to Minnesota. Even if you played some guys and you pulled them and you lost, the point is playing guys and getting some positive momentum going for the guys that you know are going to play against Chicago. Now the momentum is going to have to come from how they practice. And I get that's like, well, how are they going to do that? But it's putting together 2 really clean and crisp practices and not having mistakes and having everyone out on the field participating and feeling like your team's in a good rhythm going into it. Because you weren't able to get any of that momentum or rhythm or just that play time in the final week against Minnesota, and then obviously the games prior, 3 games prior. There were good moments, but no moral victories in the NFL. Right? You lost the games, and that hurts no matter what.
Well, it's great to have Brian Bulaga back. We will talk to him on Thursday. Coming up next, you will have Homer with Brian Bulaga, as he would call it, the Brian Bulaga Homer Hour. So don't go anywhere on 94.5 ESPN, YouTube at ESPN Milwaukee, and on the ESPN Wisconsin app. It's the Homer Hour in 2 minutes.